Red Raider Nation, what's going on? We got Blake here, top right, and we got Logan. Both Scarlet and Black Insider subscribers. We actually had them jump on today to make it a little less awkward, so I don't have to talk the entire time. But guys, what's going on?
What's up, man? Happy to be here.
Logan, how are you? Oh, you may be muted.
We got some audio issues already.
We'll get it ironed out by game time. But no, guys, we're super excited for this one. We do have Logan here. Logan is, I believe, I'm not sure if he's a current student, but definitely he's in Lubbock and has attended Texas Tech either currently or formerly. And Blake is a Texas Tech alum. Correct, Blake?
Yep, alum.
Awesome.
2014,
okay, Logan, is your mic on?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, there you go. What's up, man?
What's up? How are y'all?
Yourself.
My name is Logan. I graduated from Tech in December, and I'm pursuing a master's degree in sports management in the fall.
Good for you, man.
Appreciate it.
But guys, we're super excited for this one. We got the Ben McCollum versus Grant McCaslin show. This is going to be fantastic. What's up, Devontae? How are you, man? Hey, Kelly. We're gonna start with breaking down Drake, guys, and we're gonna kind of move into just the matchup itself. And then we have tip off. It should be like 5:10 sharp. I don't think there's going to be any delays on this one. And then we'll maybe talk a little bit about the Arkansas St. John's game that we probably, I think all three of us watched a little bit of that. But Blake, why don't you lead off with Drake and just kind of talk about Drake and what their style of play is?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team. This is not going to be an easy game for the Red Raiders. They're going to have to play well. Drake is excellent defensively, and the that obviously jumps off the page when you look at their team sheet is the pace of play, right? This is a team that walks the ball up the floor. They want to shorten the game, fewer possessions. I think they're one of the best in the country at getting late possession shots off and that they make at a high clip. So they were really able to disrupt Missouri. Missouri wants to play at a breakneck pace and get up and down the floor. And it took Missouri 35 minutes in that game to really adjust. And then they finally did with 5 minutes to go, but it was a little too late at that point. But the Red Raiders are not will run and they like to get out in transition, but they're fine playing a slower paced game. So I look for them to be able to handle that a little bit better than Missouri did.
Yeah. Logan, any thoughts on Drake?
Yeah, I think the same thing he was saying. The pace of play for Missouri was killing them, like you said, for a large part of the game. But I think Tech fares well with them, especially in the difference in size. I think we talked about this earlier before the show. Drake's probably the only team that you're going to be bigger than for the rest of the way. And so being able to see the post guys, I think, D5, JT, they should have big nights.
Yeah, I agree. And I think just taking a look at the roster, and I mean, obviously, right off the bat, you have to talk about Bennett Sturtz. He averages 19 points a game. 4.3 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 2 steals a game. And he shoots it 50% from the field and 40% from the 3-point line. This guy is an absolute menace. Like, he's just a winner. He does everything. But he is really kind of the key to the Drake offense and the Drake team in general. I mean, like I said, he's leading the team in damn near every statistical category. And then from there, they are pretty evenly distributed. They have 2 other guys who average 10 plus points a game. Daniel Abreu, who's their forward, and then Tavion Banks, who is their guard. And they don't actually shoot the 3 particularly well. Sturtz is by far their best 3-point shooter. Abreu can shoot it, and then Mitch Mascari can shoot it as well. But a couple of things to kind of look out for tonight, guys, is I think we talked about it a few times. Drake is not a super long team. And so what they will do, though, is they're going to scheme JT Toppin, and I think they're going to deploy a pretty similar defensive approach to what UNCW did, right? Which was like pack the paint. They're going to try to keep Toppin out. They're going to probably double Toppin. They'll probably sag a guard down onto him. So 3-point shooting is going to be super important tonight for Texas Tech. We really need better games from Christian Anderson. I thought Darian Williams had a really good game. Hopefully we don't take a record amount of 3-point shots tonight, guys. It was so funny because in the last live, I was like, I think in my pregame, I was like, the sweet spot for Tech tonight is 25 to 33-point shots. And I was like, I know that's a lot. And then they came out in the first half and shot 26 in the first half. And then I was like, okay, McCaslin's going to get them, going to get it together. they're not going to shoot as many 3-point shots. And in the second half, they came out and shot their first 4 possessions, shot a 3-point shot. So I do want to point out, though, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. I in the post-game interview, McCaslin said, hey, like, if defenses are going to play us like that and they're not going to respect the 3-point line, we're not going to tell our guys to stop shooting. So what are your thoughts there, Logan?
I think that just shows that Grant has the utmost confidence in all of his guys. I mean, they've shown all year. I mean, Baylor, for example, in the Big 12 tournament, started that game, they were red hot. And so this team can shoot the 3 ball. And Grant has full confidence. I think earlier in the season, he said that a 3-point look, wide open 3-point look is probably one of their best shots, one of their best opportunities to score. And so just keep shooting. I mean, look at Kerwin. I mean, he shot 17 threes by himself, but he made 8. And that helped. That was a big part of Tech winning the other night. So I think just keep shooting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think
no, go ahead, Blake.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the staff just believes in the analytics of modern basketball, right? I mean, it's better to shoot the 3 than the long 2. I think that you touched on the matchup. They're probably going to double and triple team JT when he gets the ball down low, since they don't have anybody that can kind of match up to him one-on-one. So in theory, right, if Tech reverts to what they've been all year and you knock down your normal percentage of 3-point shots, I think this is a game that you can win. And beyond that, they ended up scoring 80 plus the other night with one of their worst shooting nights of the year. And if you're going to have the terrible shooting night, I'm kind of glad they got it out of the way against a team that, UNCW is good, but it's a team that you can kind of win on talent alone. And that's what they were able to find a way to do. So if you revert back to what you normally are, I think this is just a good matchup for the Red Raiders. Not going to be an easy game by any means, but I've got a lot of confidence in them.
I do too. And I think it's going to be really important that Texas Tech is disciplined from deep tonight. I thought there were a lot of ill-advised kind of just chunk it up 3-point shots early in the shot clock. That is not going to fly against Drake because of the slow pace that they play at, and because of how methodical their offense is and how efficient they are with scoring. If we take bad shots tonight, it's going to be really hard to beat them, just because we're going to have such a small amount of possessions in comparison to a normal opponent. So Hawkins, we don't really need him taking, what did he take? 8 or 9 3-point shots last game. D5, I don't know how many. D5 took quite a few as well. But I think work your offense. If you have an open look, after you've worked a set, shoot it. But we don't need guys just dribbling down the court and kind of chunking up threes today. Let's go ahead and read a couple of these chats. Let's see here. Rick says on X, Toppin has to be involved early and often. I think we all agree with that. At least let's test and kind of see what Drake is going to do with Toppin. I think they're going to probably, like I said earlier, take a similar approach to UNCW. They're probably going to double him often when they can. So it'll be really important tonight for Texas Tech that they space the floor really well. I think a lot of times what you see Tech do with Toppin when they do that double, you'll see the guard kind of drop it into him on the low block, and you'll see the guard try to create some space on the outside. But if those guards aren't positioning themselves properly, it's not going to help Toppin out. It's not going to help anyone. It's going to allow those guards to kind of sag down and double Toppin. So keep an eye on that. And then Rick also says, if Tech is able to beat Drake, Arkansas scares me. Tech hasn't done well against teams of size all season. Either one of y'all want to address that?
You can go ahead if you'd like.
I mean, I think Arkansas, the point is fair, right? It's fair to recognize their length and their athleticism, their ability to guard. But I guess I take a different approach, right? I'm a big believer in you are what your record says you are, right? And I would much rather play Arkansas than play St. John's. Arkansas went 8-10 in the SEC for a reason. And yes, I know the SEC was a great league and analytically they're really good, but I'd rather play the 10 seed that went 8-10 in their league as opposed to the team that was the best in their league by a mile in St. John's with the pedigree that team had. And I welcome that matchup. At some point, Arkansas is going to turn back into what they are.
Yeah,
I think so. I agree. And I think, from a statistics standpoint, Blake, like you said, for Texas Tech's path technically, to the Elite Eight just got a lot easier. And same thing whenever Drake beat Missouri. So I think while Arkansas is hot right now, I think they're getting healthier too, which is big for them. We'll see. I think each of these matchups presents different things. Obviously, you got to win the game tonight. And this is a really good Drake team, guys. I think a lot of people watched that game against Missouri and they were like, oh, Drake is not that good. it's not that they're not good. That's just how they play. Like this is very similar to what Grant McCaslin's teams look like at UNT very frequently. And those teams had a lot of success, right? I believe one of Grant's teams actually beat Purdue. I can't remember what seed they were in the tournament, but this is the kind of team that can win in March because of how methodical they are, because of how good of defense they play. They offensive rebound really well. They also get to the free throw line a lot, which I think could be a problem as well. I was really concerned against UNCW that they were going to use their two bigs to get Toppin and Fetty into foul trouble. Fetty picked up 3 early fouls, but Toppin did a really good job, played good, clean defense. But I'm really curious. I think like 2 players, maybe even 3 players I'm looking at tonight, guys. Darian Williams, he really showed a lot of – we don't have a cutter on this team really right now, right? Like KO, he can cut, but he's not really – he's inconsistent. And then Chance was really your main like attack the rim kind of guy, and he developed that as the season went on. Obviously, he's a knockdown shooter too. Chance is not playing tonight. So Darian has to get to the basket. He has to use his size and like his mismatch kind of the mismatch he presents, I guess, to other teams is what I'm looking to say. And then also Christian Anderson. I thought he looked a little shaky in that first game. He did have a couple really important passes throughout that entire game. And then he also played great defense, but he has to shoot the 3 well tonight. Then Kevin Overton, like he's kind of like that wild card. It's like, what Kevin Overton are you going to get tonight? I think this is a matchup where there's a lot of emotion involved for him. It's his former school. I think he's very excited to play in this one. If he can play good tonight, that gives Texas Tech a significantly better chance to win, especially if he can get to the free throw line. That's really what Tech needs from him tonight. They don't need him to shoot threes. They need him to attack the rim and use his length and speed to get to the basket. So those are 3 guys I'm keeping my eye on. Any matchups tonight y'all are looking at?
I'm looking at Elijah Hawkins guarding Bennett Sturts. I think that's going to be huge for Tech. I think we thought, if Chance played, he might be, or at least the whole season, he would have been the matchup for him. But the way Hawkins guarded the ball the other night against Newbie, who was arguably their leading scorer coming in, just really shut him down. I think if you could shut down Sturts, this team turns a lot different for Drake.
Yeah, I also think that you're going to see Kevin Overton take that assignment some too when he's on the floor. I think he's, especially with Chance being out, I think he's this team's best perimeter defender. So I think he'll welcome that matchup and to send a little bit of a message. I think it boils down to I think you know what you're going to get from JT Toppin. You feel really good about what you're going to get from Darian Williams. I think it comes down to can you get 10 plus points from 2 out of the 3 of Kevin Overton, Kerwin Walton, and Christian Anderson, right? If 2 of those 3 guys can score the basketball for you tonight, I think you've got a really good chance to win this basketball game.
Another thing I just want to touch on was at the end of the game, the pick and roll with Christian Anderson and D5 that they ended up doing on when they were isolating themselves on one side of the court really played well for D5 as he got that switch going right to the basket. I think I see Tech doing that a lot, especially if JT is getting doubled early.
Yep. All really good points. And we just got the CBS live tracker pulled up, guys. We're all going to be watching the game on our, other devices or whatever. We can't stream the audio or the game, of course, but this CBS tracker is relatively solid. I'm sure everyone's going to be watching the game at home anyway, hopefully, but we'll have this just in case. And it is a little bit delayed. So just something to keep in mind. Man, I think we got tip-off here. I'm excited.
Yeah. I've been excited for this one all day, so here we go.
Also, what's the score on that A&M game? Let's curious. I'm gonna take a look really quick. Tight game, 34-33. A&M's up, 2:40 left in the first half.
I definitely thought early in that game, really going into it, Michigan turned the ball over at a high rate, and A&M turns people over exceptionally well. That game could either turn into just a big game for A&M, but so far so good for Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's got to compete on the glass that entire game because that's the one thing the Aggies do at such an elite level that if Michigan doesn't rebound, A&M can run away with that game in the second half.
All right, so starting lineup tonight for Texas Tech, same as it was against sorry, is it the same starting lineup tonight? Yeah, it is. Okay, Chance is out tonight. Yeah. Elijah Hawkins, Darian Williams, JT Toppin, Christian Anderson, and Kerwin. So see, they're doing a really good job spacing right there, but that's a bad turnover.
Yeah.
Good spacing though.
Like you said, I'm really curious to see how Drake approaches guarding JT and D5 for that matter when Texas Tech gets post touches.
There's Sturts. It's going to be a lot of that.
Yep, I think that's going to be a.
There. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, no. If I was going to say D5 with a little turnaround, I think you're going to have that all night long until Drake does something different about it.
Yep. See how they isolated him though, like that? That's what you have to do to prevent that double.
Well, and we talked about how great they are defensively even with their tempo, but the way you beat good defensive teams is with spacing and movement. And that's something that the Jeff Linder offense has done well all year.
Another shot at the end of the shot clock, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be all night.
Yep.
And Ben McCollum's he's a wizard, man. If we didn't have Grant McCaslin, he'd be at the top of my list to run the Red Raider program, but I'll take Grant 7 days a week and twice on Sunday.
So, guys, Drake, by the way, they lead the country in shots taken under 4 seconds on the shot clock. So get ready for that. Going to be a lot of shots tonight, right at the end of the shot clock.
Nice play.
Oh, nice slip.
That was beautiful.
Very nice slip.
There you go. See, I mean, they're kind of already struggling with Texas Tech's size a little bit offensively. You see, I think I'm a little delayed, by the way.
Yeah, I think you're a little
it seems like it.
A couple seconds behind us.
I need to refresh my stream.
Again, I like the ISO of D5. Just put him over there. Let him go to work.
Yep.
There it is.
All night. You can have that for either one of your bigs, quote unquote.
They're going to have to bring someone extra. He's going to have that all night.
Yeah. And if Tech is what they have been all year, when you swing it out for the open threes, if Anderson and Overton and those guys knock them down, this should be a good game for Tech.
This is a really good sign for Tech so far offensively.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree. Nice.
Oh,
JT,
there we go. That's
Tech,
awesome.
no, everything in the paint. Everything in the paint.
I love it. They're sending a message early in this game that they want to get the ball to the rim. Yeah, they want to get the ball to the rim. They're going to make Drake adjust to them. They're committed to playing slow, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Literally dead last in the country.
Yeah, you know what? If you're Tech, though, I think you live with that shot, right?
100%.
If they want to take turnaround shots with a hand in their face at the end of the shot clock, you live with it.
Yep, I agree.
That's one foul on their big.
But yeah, the game plan for Tech so far obviously was get the ball in the paint, attack the size advantage you have, and it's working so far.
Completely agree.
And I was kind of wondering where this was against UNCW. Maybe they didn't want to show their hand too much, but that kind of ISO ball that we've seen them do throughout Big 12 play, it makes it nearly impossible when you have a mismatch.
I also wonder, how much. Obviously, D5 had a great second half, but he struggled a little bit in the first half of the game. I wonder how much he was knocking the rust off from kind of being in and out of the lineup the last couple of weeks of the season.
Oh, damn.
I'll give them this. I mean, McCollum, their offense is they space the floor well for what they do, and they run good sets.
Yeah, that was I just saw that shot. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's 2 back-to-back circus shots.
That's a good sign there from CA.
There we go. I love getting him to get an early basket. It's something at the rim to let him see the ball go through, calm his nerves down. I think you touched on it earlier, Austin. I think Christian Anderson's so important to this game. He's got to shoot the ball well.
Extremely important. Not a single 3-point attempt yet either from Tech.
Nope.
Do not mind that. $10 points in the paint so far for Tech.
Yep. At some point, they will shoot threes, but I love that they're establishing a presence inside.
I agree.
What makes this offense so efficient, right, is it's just the classic inside-out style.
Beautiful, JT.
Love that move. Nice drop step.
They're not fully committing to a double team. They're kind of letting them
yet.
play in the island.
Well, yeah, and when it's coming late. And
right.
Unlike UNCW, who was like the second he got the ball, they were running 2 and 3 guys at him.
Really good scheme so far from Texas Tech offensively. Got to play better defense, though. We'll live with those mid-range shots all day.
Absolutely. I think some of the shots they've made you live with, right? Like the turnaround jump shot and then the circus shot by the big at the rim. They're going to make those. You got to tip your hat a little bit. Kevin Overton. I love the take, though. Yeah, for sure.
That's what we need from him. He's probably one of our best players at actually getting fouled and while he's going to the rim. That could have been a foul. He's struggling at the rim, though, which is unfortunate.
Elijah's all over Sturt so far. He is all over him.
I don't think Elijah gets enough credit for being as good of a defender as he actually is, just because of his size. But I think he's a pest on the ball and can make life difficult.
Yeah, I think that's something you're going to see Drake do quite a bit tonight, is try to back Hawkins down. It'll be interesting to see.
There's your first 3-pointer.
There it is. Yep.
I don't know. I love Kerwin Walton. He's a great shooter. I don't know about how you guys feel about it. I like when he's getting set shots with his feet underneath him. I don't love off the bounce or step back threes like that from Kerwin. But that
was a forced shot. It felt like those are those shots I was talking about that we don't need to have.
Right. No whistles for almost 6 minutes.
I know. Where's the media timeout?
Yeah.
We're already at talk about the slowing the game down. We're already at the sub 12.
Yeah, we're already other 12. Yeah.
Crazy. Feels like the game just tipped off. Oh, there we go.
Well, there's our whistle right there.
Yeah, finally the network's thrilled. They can finally run some ads.
All right, man, we got bailed out there. We needed that. Shot clock was going down. This delay is really throwing me for a loop, by the way, but it's all good. All right, well, I think some stuff to digest there. Offensively, I like what I saw from Texas Tech. Defensively, not so much. I think you alluded to it, Blake. There were 2 shots there that were pretty low percentage shots. We can live with those. I'm not super. There's a couple guys on the team that you really don't want shooting uncontested threes like that. But depending on who it is, I'm okay with kind of the 3-point defense, not being super stern like that. But interesting start. What are y'all's thoughts so far?
Yeah, I agree. I think the offense looks really good. I like how they established, the paint touches with JT and D5, get them going early. They're going to need them all game. But the defense, we're giving up, like you said. They made a couple big shots. but 2 uncontested wide open threes, and they've knocked them down. So I think that that's going to have to change.
Yeah, I agree with. I mean, it's hard to disagree. I think you guys have both hit the nail on the head. But the one thing I'll caveat it with is the encouraging thing to me is to see Tech's offense scoring. Right, Drake has this vaunted defense. They don't score a lot. I mean, there've been a couple. I looked at their schedule earlier. There've been a couple of games where they've broken 70, 75. But I think Tech will figure it out on the defensive end, and Drake will turn into what they are on offense. But the fact that the Red Raiders offense has looked as fluid as it has, and being able to get to the rim when they want to and get shots down low is encouraging. And we've only had the 1 3-point attempt. We know Tech is going to shoot 20 to 25 threes over the course of this game. So you got to feel good on that end of the floor so far.
Yeah, and I think like Abreu was one of the guys that I touched on in the pregame. He's 2 of 3 from 3 so far, and I think both of his threes were like basically wide open. So I think we'll hopefully make an adjustment on that. I think Sturts and Abreu and Biscari as well, but those are the 3 really just you need to have a hand in their face from the perimeter. You need to close out. So good start for Abreu. He's already up to 6 points. Toppin has 6 points as well. Darian Williams up to 4. A little interesting to see D5 come out so early, but I do think they're obviously, there is not necessarily a minute restriction, but I do think that they're being mindful with his minutes. But yeah, good start so far for Texas Tech offensively so far. Devontae says we look terrible on defense. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. I don't think that Drake is going to continue to shoot at that clip from 3. Obviously they were really good looks. And then they did make a couple circus shots from, I think one was like a fadeaway jump shot. And then that layup was just ridiculous. The announcers were even, that was ridiculous. But yeah, we'll see what kind of adjustments we make. But really good start from JT Toppin so far and Darian Williams, that's for the long term of this game. That's really important, guys. JT already up to 6 points. What did he score against UNCW? 10?
10.
Yeah. So that's super encouraging.
Yeah, I don't love Walton shooting those runners either.
I agree.
All right, Fetty's in for Toppin. D5 back out.
This is an important possession to kind of stem this run here. Tech really needs a bucket.
True freshman guarding Sturts now, by the way.
Christian Anderson.
Yeah,
that's a big time play by D5 there. That's
well done.
Time.
And one. There we go. That's big.
Oh, cool. Another timeout immediately.
Yeah, well, they owe all their advertisers an extra TV spot here.
I do think that, like you were saying, that was a big possession, and that rebound's huge.
Big rebound. We're going to have to get second chance points in second possessions against a team that limits your possessions so much. But guys, we have 326 of y'all in here right now. Really appreciate you guys being here. I know most of you are coming from X, but we do have some on YouTube. We're definitely we're watching the chat. We'll be answering questions and kind of engaging with y'all. So feel free to drop your comments on X or on YouTube. But yeah, quick timeout. So not much has changed, but guys, D5 and Toppin look fantastic. Again, I think that's going to be so important to this game. How about Bennett Sturts, though? Already up to 4 assists. A little bit concerned with like these really easy wide open looks that Drake is kind of getting. I'm not sure. I need to pay more attention on the defense and kind of see where things are going wrong. But kind of some wide open looks from Tech's defense so far.
Yeah, I think they need to do a better job of staying in front of Sturts. I mean, I know that's easier said than done, right? He's their best player. He's the straw that stirs the drink. But so far, it's been Elijah Hawkins. I would like to see this coaching staff throw some different looks at him, right? Maybe get some Kevin Overton some time on him. Maybe Christian Anderson gets a little bit of a period on him. Just give him different things to think about, different looks. And, when he comes off a ball screen, do they change their approach on a hard hedge to keep him from getting into the paint or what they need to do? But I think that's the key to stopping Drake, right? Is stopping him breaking your defense down, and that's led to a couple of open jump shots. And if they can do that, I think you can slow down this offense.
Yeah, and they just constantly move. So far, it looks like they got players going all over the place, and like the last 2 possessions, they've ended up with a wide open little hook or a little floater right from the middle of the lane. And Betty there was guarding the big, so he didn't get to step out. And so I think that they're going to have to stay in front of Sturts, and they're gonna have to deal with all the movement.
Yep, I agree. And both teams.
Stylistically,
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Blake. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, stylistically, you can see the similarities between McCaslin and McCollum, right? I mean, we've all heard the story about they've been friends for a long time. A lot of the Red Raiders that are members of the site know that McCaslin went to great lengths to try to hire McCollum before we ended up getting Linder as the assistant coach. And you watch them play and you see a lot of yourself in them and just how they move on offense, their spacing, things like that.
Yeah, and really, I mean, the only difference right now, guys, I mean, both teams are scorching from the field. Tech 58%, Drake 66%, but Drake does have those 2 3-point shots that they made. So really, in a game where you're only down 4 and you're potentially have a chance to trim it to 3, that's really the main difference right now are those 2 3-point shots.
Yep. And I mean, when's the last time we started a Tech game and they've gone 9 minutes and hadn't made a 3 yet? Which that again, that's another encouraging number for Tech, right? Because at some point they're going to make some.
Yeah, and I think also like Tech has one of those defenses where it's like they have these moments where they look really rough defensively, and then they seem to kind of lock down and clean it up. I would expect both teams to start playing better defense soon, but I do think that Texas Tech's offense has been their method and kind of their scheme so far is sustainable throughout the game.
Knocked it down.
Man, I mean,
we had a little bit of a rough night the other night from the free throw line.
We did. That was sketchy. Yeah, I even have the CBS broadcast is actually beating me today. So
I was noticing that too. I looked down. I'm
I don't like
well,
that.
That's not the right score.
Are you watching it online or just like the NCAA.com stream, or where are you watching it?
I'm watching it on. I have YouTube TV, so I'm watching it on YouTube.
That's crazy because that's what I'm watching on my TV, and I think I'm a little bit ahead of you, so I'm curious as to why
great
it's
defense
delayed.
by Kerwin there.
Outstanding. Cleared out the possession with Fetty.
Yeah, that's great defense.
D5's on tonight.
You're set.
Boom. That's really encouraging. He looks like he's knocked any kind of rust off that there was, and
he's taking over right now.
I know JT's the All-American, second team All-American, but coming into the year, right? I mean, the team kind of went as D5 went, and if he has a big game tonight, I think the Red Raiders are in really good shape.
People forget, like, this guy is a freaking all Big 12 player. Like, if he's and he said before the tournament started that he feels better than he felt last year in the tournament. So he's pretty much.
I think that's a good foul.
If I had to guess.
It is.
That's a good foul. Don't give him the dunk. Make the big go shoot 2 free throws. Prove he can do it.
Yeah, bad defense from Fetty there, though.
Yeah. I think he'll get subbed out here because of that. McCaslin typically doesn't put up with missed defensive assignments.
I understand
he was screaming, so he's coming out.
He wasn't liking that.
I mean, how many times have we seen how many times this year have we seen the McCaslin angry timeout off of a missed defensive assignment where he comes storming onto the floor screaming at somebody for missing their job?
100%.
I saw I think D5 said something like that. He's like, we just don't want to get yelled at from McCaslin. He's like, we just want to do it right and not get yelled at.
Breath of fresh air compared to what we had in the Mark Adams era, where he stood over there like a statue the entire game and just zero emotion.
Man, I may have to switch to like ESPN or something because this CBS broadcast is way ahead. And I keep looking at it. I'm like addicted. I'm like, are we scoring? So funny.
D5, man,
he is
relentless.
He is locked in. You love to see it.
Great sign.
Toppin too. I mean, when Toppin went before he came out for a little bit of a breather for Fetty. I mean, Toppin had it going. So
let's go D5. Come on, baby. He's in the zone tonight too, guys. Like you can just feel it.
Absolutely. That's a tough shot. Great defense there by Hawkins.
Tough shot.
Toughest team wins. Good response from the Red Raiders for the on the Drake 7-0 run. They've responded with one on their own here.
Man, Toppin's gonna feast tonight. I think, guys.
Yeah, I think so. I do.
Dude, D5 and Toppin are fucking locked
Both of
in.
them. I mean, both of them. Oh, big three.
A little short.
A lot of Red Raider fans, guys. I can hear them. I'm have the audio on low on my headset.
I also wonder if, obviously, a lot of Red Raider fans, but I wonder how many of the Houston fans that are there that bought the full session passes that are also pulling for the Big 12 because they've got their game tomorrow.
All right, so like that kind of shot from Hawkins, like he can take that all night. I'm fine with that. I mean, that was a
Absolutely.
really clean look.
In rhythm, wide open. I mean, you live with that, right? If it doesn't go in, it
That
doesn't go in.
JT, that JT last shot probably should have been a foul too. He actually hit him on the left elbow, or his right elbow, I should say.
Fetty and JT out there now.
That's going to be a real problem for Drake with their size.
Live with it. Good.
Yeah, it's good defense.
And Drake's offense is fun to watch. So they run so many off ball screens, and they just move.
It's good sets.
Nice.
No doubt. And one. Oh, okay. Take that.
JT very active early.
Yep. Again, she's just a total mismatch with them.
Under 8 timeout.
Come on.
Good 4-minute stretch there from the Red Raiders, and hopefully they're going to be able to open up a little bit of a lead in this last 2 segments before going into the half.
Yeah, and I mean, just getting like I've seen a couple X posts from some analysts, and they're like, you don't want to get down to Drake because of how methodical they are and because of how slow they are. But hey, what were we down 6 points? I think there for a second, and look what we've done. Again, my whole point and why I'm happy right now with what I'm seeing is the way that Tech is scoring is sustainable, and the way that Drake has scored at times is not.
Absolutely.
If Texas Tech can close out better and just have better rotation assignments, like they're going to be in a good shape to win this game. Let's take a look at the box score really quick, guys. I'm going to pull it up on the CBS tracker.
The other thing I think Tech is doing a really good job of on the defensive end of the floor so far in this game is like 0 offensive rebounds, right? Like it's been one and done for Drake on any missed shot, which you love to see that, and they're taking advantage of their size on the floor.
So D5 up to 12 points already, guys. He's 5 of 6 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, and 1 of 1 from the free throw line. He does have a foul. Texas Tech only has 2 fouls right now, but that is something to keep in mind. Like if D5 picks up another second foul here, could be something to monitor for Texas Tech. JT Toppin already up to 8 points and 4 boards. Yeah, guys, what are y'all's thoughts so far from the box score?
I think the foul situation for D5, like you just pointed out, could be important. I think you might see McCasland limit his minutes to maybe 4 minutes down the stretch here, give Overton a little bit of run to try to get to the half with 1. But, only 2 fouls on the team total, right? So, that you love to see that, especially with a thinner rotation, not having McMillan. So I think that's a good spot to be in.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Tech super efficient so far. I mean, they looked dominant right now. They in the paint for sure. I think I see that little comment there. Keep taking the ball to the basket, and that's what they're going to keep doing. And I think, yeah, like you're saying, the fouls, but I think the foul thing, JT having none is a great sign because we've seen some games where he picks them up quick. I mean, it's 1-2 and he's on the bench. Like having none right now is big for them.
And Abreu does have a foul as well for Drake, and he's a really important player for them. So maybe that's something they try to exploit. But guys, 20 points between D Will and Toppin already. So they look locked in. That's a great sign. You just get that feeling, guys, that like some threes are going to start falling for Texas Tech, and that could be the kind of the difference, hopefully.
They've only taken 3.
Right.
Like that's the crazy number is like for a team that gets them up, especially I think it was Emory that had the stat on the website that, since February 17th or whatever, that they've shot like the most threes in the country, but they've only taken 3 and they're 1 of 3. So they're right on their season average. And it's like you said, at some point they're going to come.
All right. Toppin misses the first.
All right, knock the second one in.
There we go.
And about the pace thing, right? You made the comment you don't want to fall behind to Drake. I think it works both ways. If you can get a 6 to 8 point lead on Drake, at what point do they have to force themselves to play a little faster and more than they're comfortable playing?
Great job. That's again, like you were talking about earlier, one shot every possession so far. There it is. Nice.
Oh, you gotta love the
Right
rim
down the
run.
lane,
There you
man.
go.
Timeout,
Dang it,
Drake.
man! You guys
gotta
have
be a
such a big
timeout.
lead on me.
Sorry, man. We're not trying to ruin the game for you.
Yeah, I
We're
know.
just-
I'm not.
It's funny because when
I
RC and I
promise.
did this last year for NC State, we had the same problem. He was ahead of me, and I was like, "Damn it!" All I'm gonna say is that if we're tied at the end, I'm gonna be like, "Y'all gotta not say anything."
Well, you got my word on that. If it's
I'm
possession
just
here,
gonna close
possession
my
there,
eyes and-
I probably won't be
I'll just
saying
mute.
anything anyway.
I'll mute my mic and let you watch it live if it's close. But
Oh man,
Red Raiders
But
in a great
guys,
spot here, right? They're forcing a timeout. They've opened up a little bit of a lead, and you gotta if you're a Red Raider, you got to be happy with what you've seen so far.
Logan.
Yeah, I totally agree. Again, JT coast to coast. I mean, you love to see that. Really, But again, the rebounding. Drake. They might not be as big, but we saw it with teams pride themselves on offensive rebounds, so to be able to hold them to one shot every possession, I think it's going to continue to be big.
Yeah. One offensive rebound so far for Drake, so that's a great sign if you're in the red and black.
Yep, great sign. I think that something that I didn't touch on it in the pregame, but I think just on those kind of fast break opportunities, I think Texas Tech has to be aggressive on those. Get to the basket. That's the kind of thing that to me is where JT Toppin, if he can take that step of his game up, that's where he can go to the NBA, right? Just taking the ball to the basket like that from midcourt. I mean, that's you love to see that. But I really think Texas Tech just exploit Drake by getting to the basket early in the possession and attacking before they can get their defense set up. And you're going to have a really good chance to get them in foul trouble or get fast break baskets and just kind of throw them off guard. But so far, so good. Again, guys, Darian Williams, 12 points, JT Toppin, 11 points.
Sustainable.
That is awesome. And guys, it's not D5 did take it wasn't a crazy 3-point shot by any means, but they're taking high percentage shots. They're not just kind of getting lucky in this instance,
Well, and the D5 3 was the 1 3 we've made. So, I think maybe he took 2. I don't know. I know one was a Kerwin Walton step back. One was the D5. Hawkins was the third 3 on the one that we were talking about living with that shot. So
D5 is 1 of 1 from 3 right now. So he's only taken 1, I guess.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, though, in the pregame when you were talking about against a team that wants to slow it down and turn it into a 55 possession game as opposed to an 80 or 85 possession game, that you can't be taking bad shots, right? It's got to be a high quality shot selection. Don't force things, especially early in the shot clock. And the Red Raiders are doing a good job of that. They're getting to the rim and they're getting high percentage looks to both Toppin and D5.
I'm going to maybe try to pull it up on TNT or something and see if it's less delayed. Let's try that.
I feel like an underrated part of the Tech team is there is no egos on this team. Some teams, not having D5 and JT score majority of your baskets, you'll see players, start chunking up threes or trying to get their own shot. But this team, they know what's working and they play together. And I think that's underrated. I know Coach talking about that all season long, but it really is showing up. It's going to continue to show up in March.
Another one of those easy baskets.
D5 on the bench here, so maybe McCaslin's trying to protect him a little bit. That's a good look for KO. Just didn't go.
He's struggling on those little mid-range shots, man. Significant.
Traveling. Yeah, absolutely. He walked.
Yeah, I think also in the pregame you talked about how KO needed to attack the basket and not settle for some of those threes that he does. And so I think it's a promising sign, but he's just got to finish.
Yep. Oh, look, Texas Tech scored according to CBS.
Yeah, we just inbounded the ball on my screen.
It's ahead of us. You might need to get rid of that.
Go to
the ESPN one or something.
I'm going to check out the ESPN one. It's so weird because yesterday it was the opposite. It was it was slower. So I don't know.
Those things are so hit and miss, right? Like please, the state of Texas, don't listen to this, but as somebody who bets games online, I'll routinely check box scores of games that or live box feeds of games that I don't have on TV, and sometimes they're right on point, and other times it feels like there's a 2 to 3 minute wait for an update on any play. So it's very hit and miss.
Bang, big time screen by Anderson there to get JT open.
Man, yeah, I'm so delayed.
You can't give that up. I mean, that's
wide open.
There was no one just bad. Yeah, that's bad defense. He could call his girlfriend and check the weather report and then shoot.
Okay, Elijah.
There we go. I know that was man, but it almost looked a little bit like a matchup zone on that possession a little bit from Drake.
That's great from Hawkins there.
Yeah, the I just looked down again. The CBS feed is definitely ahead of the game.
It's so early.
We got to get that.
At halftime, I'm gonna find something. I need to find like a bootleg box score site. I checked ESPN and it's just as ahead.
Too easy.
So.
I mean, we just saw the bucket. JT again
too easy,
wide open.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop looking at the screen so I can.
Yeah, I am too. I'm just gonna look straight at the game, guys.
Dude,
straight at the game.
It's just Oh, I haven't. Okay, I have a Damn it, man! So annoying. Yesterday it was like the opposite.
Good defense.
Again, no foul, and JT straight up blocks it off the backboard.
Yes, sir, JT. Come on.
A little bit of a wild shot there.
Mm.
Push the ball.
Great defense.
Under 4 timeout. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Give me just a second.
All right. Oh, do you see 5 okay, or is he just pulling up his sleeve?
Yeah, I saw him pulling up that sleeve on his calf.
All right, dude, we gotta figure something out with this fucking CBS thing.
Yeah,
the problem is there's only like a couple sites that like show the like.
Right. No,
I
checked earlier. I think I looked down and it was like Tech had already scored and they hadn't even inbounded the ball. I was like, all right.
For me, it's like literally like it's like a 15-second delay. It's brutal. And I'm like basically watching it, and then I hear you guys, and then I see it for myself.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold myself back, but you can watch it because you're a little. Impossible. I can even tell you're a little behind, but it's impossible.
Maybe Yahoo. Yahoo's got to be slow. Let's do Yahoo. Let's try this. We're gonna try Yahoo, guys. We got 407 people here right now, guys. Thank y'all for being here. We really appreciate it. And Logan, thanks again for joining, man.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you being on part of the site too. Hopefully we can do a few more of these. That's what I've been telling everyone.
Yeah, it's a good time.
All right, let's see. I'm going to share my screen on the Yahoo one. Watch the Yahoo one. It's just going to be even faster.
Probably.
Yeah. It doesn't look as good, but it'll be fine.
Maybe CBS has got some insight since they're covering the games. Who knows?
Yeah. It's kind of cool. It actually shows like the chord, I guess, but whatever.
Yeah.
As long as it's slower, that's what I'm looking for.
Right. I don't want to know the result of the possession before the possession's
over. If at this point, guys, like if this one's like on the same pace, we're just gonna have to take it away. So,
get rid of it.
All right. Box score though, guys. JT topping up to 15 points and 6 boards and a block.
I mean, it's exactly what we talked about, right? Like we came into the game in the pregame talking about the advantage of D5 and JT Toppin down low and just the size advantage you have against Drake, and it's proving true.
I think the 2 offensive rebounds for Darion Williams are something to look at too. Like he's been active, and he's continued to play well. I mean, his stat sheet is filling up for sure.
Yeah, I mean he's on pace for another 40-point game potentially, guys. And McCollum hasn't been able to adjust yet, right? Like it's like, how do you adjust to it? I mean, you can't really hard double when they do those ISO plays like that. And then you have D5 on the other side who can back down. And then you have all Texas Tech shooters. And guys, Texas Tech hasn't even shot the 3 well yet.
No, they just pulled it up here. 24-8 points in the paint in favor of Tech. That's a big number.
To the Ben McCollum thing, I mean, what can you do, right? Like if you double, you open yourself up to good shooters getting wide open looks, and if you don't double, this is what you get. So it's kind of a pick your poison situation.
All right, we're gonna keep an eye on this Yahoo broadcast.
Gotta love
so
that
far, so good. I think it's a good one. This is a good one.
In good shape. Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah.
Well, I still haven't seen the play yet. So.
Sorry,
I even tried to
pull it.
Dude, I even tried to pull it up on my phone, and like it's still delayed.
It's delayed. That's really weird.
Super weird. I think I'm gonna try signing directly into like TNT and see if that fixes it.
Good defense.
Yeah, I'm watching it on Max, on the Max app on my TV.
Ooh, maybe that's what I should do.
This is a big opportunity here for Tech to maybe stretch the lead a little bit in the last 2 minutes of half. They've pushed it to 6.
D5 and Toppin look awesome.
Whew. I like that shot, though.
That would have been huge. If that would have gone down, that would have been.
A&M has pushed their lead to 8 for anybody.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a good look from D5. Ooh, corner of the rim too. Damn it! Now the Yahoo one is.
That's a good response from Drake there.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate little swing
and
there,
Grant
right?
Is
like
not happy.
Yeah, you go from an open D5 one that just doesn't go down.
I
then you give up.
I don't get it. It's like we talked about Abreu, like that. He's like literally him and Sturts are their best 3-point shooters, and they're just giving him wide open looks.
Oh, 100%.
Castle's not happy. He called. That was the classic call the timeout after a blown defensive assignment and go yell at someone. So
yep.
All right, I'm gonna try to sign into HBO Max. Let's try this. This is killing me, guys.
I hope you can find one that's up to date.
This is killing me.
I would be unhappy too.
Killing me, man. Let's see here. No, but yeah, I mean, I think like the reality is like Texas Tech's defense is playing really good right now, but they are blowing some assignments on the perimeter, which is not a big surprise. We've kind of done that throughout the year. But again, Texas Tech has very much been a defense that kind of gets better as the game goes on, typically, besides against that game against UCF. So hopefully that continues.
And I fully expect Tech to make some adjustments in the second halftime, right? Like I think McCaslin's one of the best in the country at in-game adjustments, and Tech has been really good in second halves this year. So
yeah, they know who their shooters are.
He'll get on some people in the locker room. They just cannot get going from 3 in this tournament so far.
Nope. That we'll live with that every day of the week.
And they do get a lot of shots right as the clock's hitting 00, don't they?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Scouting report doesn't lie.
Nice pass.
Oh, beautiful. That outstanding. All right, close the last minute of this half strong.
Oh my God!
That was a laser. That was a laser from deep.
I just saw it. That was beautiful.
Get a stop and a buck. That's got to be traveling. Absolutely.
I think a thing too is Sturt's not scoring the ball right now. Like, I mean, he might be playmaking, but he's got a couple turnaround jump shots. But other than that, they've been on him for a large
Hawkins has
majority
done a
of his
really
first half.
nice job of just trying to disrupt him and get him out of rhythm.
JT up to 17.
Wow.
Another.
Oh, good cut.
Ah.
Got to be an and one. That's not a foul?
He's on the ground. Oh, how's that not?
How is that not a foul?
Yeah, no.
They're not calling a lot of fouls in this game so far.
No,
That's got to be the first
Oh
shot
my God,
Drake has taken before
you just saw
the
what
shot clock.
that's what I was griping about.
Yeah,
Austin,
I just
was
saw
like,
that. Yeah.
How is that not a foul?
I mean, he went up with his hands up vertical, but there was a lot of contact.
A lot of lower body there.
That's out on Drake. Yeah.
You can pretty much take the last shot here. So if you can get a bucket and push it to 7, that would be a really good lead against a team that wants to play slow.
I'm looking at this here. Sturts is so far off of Kerwin right now. Now they're moving him back.
Yeah, they're going to run Kerwin around a double pick.
That's a foul. Yep.
Got to be. Yeah, absolutely. 6 seconds here on the shot clock. Tech's going to have to run a good. Oh, I guess it resets to 10, doesn't it? Yeah. Off the foul. So now you definitely can take the last shot.
Nice. I got it.
Yeah, beautiful played in the half. That's
great,
a big time play.
Good half.
I may be ahead of y'all now.
Yeah, now you're ahead of us.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Now you're right with us.
Entire game.
Yeah.
Holy.
I'm not sure what they're doing here. They have 4 in the paint, looking like he's going to double, and then just leaves as soon as he's going to turn around and do the jump hook.
Credit to JT, right? Like, everybody talked about he only had 10 points it was against UNCW, but I thought he was making the right basketball play, right? He wasn't trying to force it. He was getting it out to good shooters, but like in that situation, right, he's reading the defense. He makes a good decision and ends up getting a bucket to close out the half. And man, if you're rooting for Tech, it's hard to not love your spot here, right? Up 7 at halftime. You've got a sustainable offense, right? D5 and top end are getting what they want at the rim. And you're going to, at some point, Drake is going to be forced to come out of their shell a little bit, so to speak, on their tempo to match you scoring wise.
Yeah, I think Tech's in a great spot right here. I mean, they've shot 5 3-pointers in the first half. Kerwin made more 3-pointers in the last game than they've taken. So I think that's a good spot.
Yep. Let's take a look at the box score really quick. And man, it feels good to be not delayed. That was so annoying, guys. Literally, sorry to keep complaining about it. But let's go over the box score really quick. So a couple of quick things I want to point out just in general. Texas Tech is up 7 right now, and they gave Drake a ton of clean looks on offense in that first half. And a lot of those guys they were just missed assignments, or most of them were just missed assignments and not closing out on the perimeter. So if Texas Tech can close out on Abreu, they can keep playing that kind of defense on Sturts. They're going to have a really good chance to make the offense hard on Drake. And again, Drake is not a team that, other than Sturts, they don't have a guy who's really going to go get a basket. They're just running a ton of cuts and picks and off-ball screen. They're doing all this motion to get good looks. But so far, so good on Sturts, which is really promising, especially I think he started pretty hot against Tech. So really good adjustments so far. Let's take a look at the box score. What did JT finish in that? 19 points.
19, yeah. 19-7.
7 and 1 block. How about Darian Williams, though, guys? He had 14 points, but he also had 3 rebounds and 3 assists and a steal. You're really, the lion's share of your offense there came from your 2 best players. You're all Big 12 players, which you love to see. But more than anything, guys, how many 3-point shots y'all think we took? Oh, I guess y'all are probably looking at it. We took 4 3-point shots and we only made 1. And a team who's not very good from 3, Drake, is 50% from 3, and they're down 7. You got to love that.
Yep, absolutely. And You touched on it, but you got 33 of your 37 points coming from Toppin and Williams. I mean, they're a problem for Drake. And again, what does Ben McCollum do, right? I mean, like if you can't double both of them, and they've proven, and I think both of those guys are good enough passers and have high enough basketball IQ that they're happy to pass post to post. What do you do if you're Drake? I mean, do you go to a zone in the second half like what Baylor did and hope that Tech can't figure that out? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions for Ben McCullum, and I don't even know if there's an option for him right now. The way that JT and D5 are playing, I'm not even sure that there's anything they could throw at him that's going to stop him right now. Except, I mean, if they bring the double team, that shooters are open, and I just think that, and they're a little small, like we said earlier, like they're double team small. They're throwing these passes they can see right over the top, and they throw right over the top of them. I think that's another thing that's kind of underrated. And with some of those big teams, you're unable to pass over the top. But JT and D5 can both throw right over them, and you can see on these replays the shots are right over them too. So it's just relatively easy for them right now.
Yeah, and it's been like I'm looking at the free throw box score right now, and Drake only took 2 free throws in the first half, guys. This is a team who is really good at getting to the free throw line. I think Torvik has them at 11 nationally in free throw rate. So that is fantastic. And the Texas Tech's defense has been weird so far. They've played like really good defense most of the first half, and then they had like these blown assignments. But considering how easy Drake scored for that first, what was it, like the first 10 minutes of the game, guys, or 8 minutes of the game, Texas Tech really turned it around and made things difficult on them. A lot of contested shots at the rim. Obviously, we have to stop giving Abreu these wide open looks from 3. He will hit those at a good clip. Like I think he's close to a 40% 3-point shooter. Whenever you're that wide open, those numbers are going to go up, obviously. But so far, so good. I really like what I'm seeing. I mean, I think offensively, you have to come out and just play the same way. I'm very interested to see what McCollum does. I think that your scheme can only help you so much when you're mismatched like so much from there's the D5 and Toppin create mismatches against almost any team. Because D5's like that awkward. He's kind of like that tweener, but he can shoot it, he can pass it, he can back you down, he can hit jump shots. He's really the key to this Texas Tech team, in my opinion. And then JT Toppin, when he just plays off of everyone else, he grabs boards. You can run ISO ball through him, which they do. They obviously did a lot in that first half. But man, very, very impressive stuff so far from Texas Tech. Either of you guys want to touch on this? I don't know. What are you guys thinking in terms of adjustments? Any adjustments you think McCollum's going to make in that second half?
I mentioned a second ago. I mean, maybe they try to come out in the zone. I don't know how much. I'm not a Drake basketball connoisseur and haven't watched any of their games, until this one. But maybe they have a zone in their back pocket to try to limit the outside. But again, if and that might be something McCaslin, talks to the team about, right? Because we didn't adjust well to it in the Baylor game in the Big 12 tournament. Maybe running the double quicker, but again, if you do that, I mean, it's again, it comes back to that pick your poison, right? Do you want to give up open shots to guys like Christian Anderson and Kerwin Walton and Elijah Hawkins? I just don't know that you want to do that.
Yeah, to touch on go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm checking their Synergy Sports page right now. It looks like they have run 1 zone defense play the entire season.
So they don't have it in their bag.
Yeah. So they probably I wouldn't you never know with McCollum, because he could have literally just drawn this up, and they probably have a smart enough team where they could implement it pretty quick. But that is good to know. They haven't actually run any zone at all. That's so funny that they've run 1 possession. How did that happen? maybe that was a statistical error. They thought it was a zone and they recorded it as a zone, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that's almost impossible to have only 1 possession of it the entire year.
Yeah, I actually, Synergy is great for that, because it can kind of break things down in terms of how many times they've run certain sets and things like that. UNCW actually ran the zone quite a bit, not really quite a bit, but they did use it against teams in conference play. I was surprised they didn't do it against Texas Tech at all, but they didn't really need to, because their defense is kind of, Texas Tech was really relying on the 3-point shot. There was really no need to go to a zone. But we'll see. I did want to point out too, JT Toppin, 1,000 career points, guys. So super super impressive feat for him, especially considering what did he average last year? Was it like 10 points a game, 12 points?
Yeah, it wasn't this.
I think another one we need to touch on. They showed a graphic of it in the game, but I think Elijah Hawkins is one assist away from setting the Tech all-time single season record.
Wow.
I think it was you and RC who talked about how he was such a floor general when we got him in the transfer portal. And admittedly, I was a little concerned through the first 10 games of the season. It was a little rough out of the gate for him, but I think he's been one of this team's best players, and he doesn't get a lot of credit, right? Because you've got guys like D5 and JT Toppin and Chance McMillan, who were all conference players, but I think Elijah Hawkins has had a really, really good season.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this Tech team, I mean, early there was a struggle, and when Elijah Hawkins changed and flipped into the player he is now, this team completely did a 180 to what they were capable of and what everybody expected at the beginning of the year. When he came in,
it seemed to, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, Austin, but it felt like the UCF game when they struggled so much defensively in that game, but it feels like from that game forward, Elijah Hawkins has been a different guy, right? He started trying to score the ball more. He seemed more comfortable. I don't know what they changed internally, if they did anything different with their scheme, but it feels like since that point, he's been a completely different player than he was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I agree. I think the next game, wasn't it Utah? He made 6 3-pointers or whatever he had. I mean, it was career high in 3-pointers the next game. Yeah, 100% agree.
Well, because I remember they lost to UCF, and then they had the Utah road trip, and I was like, they better go win one of these 2 games, because then you got to deal with Iowa State coming back to Lubbock, and obviously they go and win 2.
It was actually, I'm looking at his stat breakdown right now. It was actually the BYU game. He went 7 of 12 from 3. And then at KSU, he also went 6 of 11 from 3. So he can get hot from 3. We know he can shoot it. I
think he had a really nice game at Allen Fieldhouse, right? What did he do against Kansas? I felt like he had hit a couple of big shots in that game as well.
Yeah. Let me pull it up again. Let's see. He had a quiet game at Kansas, actually, but he did go 2 of 7 from 3. I think he did hit like 2 really big threes though in the second.
That's probably
half.
what I'm thinking about. Like a couple of big shots down the stretch that I remember him. I was like, all right, here we go.
Shots. Yeah, he hit a couple really clutch shots. So yeah, I mean, and I just posted this in our Scarlet and Black Insider chat. But I mean, Drake shot it 50% from 3, 4 of 8, which is definitely a higher clip than they usually shoot it. Obviously, they were very clean looks, so that has to be taken into consideration. But Texas Tech only made 1 3-pointer in the first half, which is this is the forte of this team, and they're up 7. But a 7-point lead is really nothing against this Drake team with how methodical they are, with how good their defense can be. So I don't, I'm sure Grant McCaslin's not having any moral victories right now in the locker room.
The game is far from over.
Game's far from over, absolutely. But we have 470 of y'all in here right now. I think most of you guys are on X. Thank y'all for being here. If you're not already subscribed to Scarlet and Black Insider, head on over there. Logan and Blake are actually both subscribers. They both do their own things in the Texas Tech media space. Give them a follow on X. Guys, what's y'all's X handles?
I think it's at B Hartsfield. Let me double check that.
Yeah, I think mine's at Will 10198. Yeah, weird. But
mine's at
we'll get
at B Hartsfield. Yeah, at B Hartsfield 10. I can put that in the chat for everybody. Just a little bit of background on what I do. I'm with the Nation's official podcast with TJ Kern. We do a podcast during the football season once every week where we talk about the game, preview the next one, and then during basketball season, we try to do it about once every 2 games or so. We've been doing that for a couple of years, so please check that out. Give us a follow. You can find that podcast on Twitter, or I'm sorry, X, at the Nation's official Twitter account or X account. But I'll definitely post my handle in the comments.
Yeah, awesome. I can touch on what I do if you want. Yeah, I work for a media company here, Campus Live. We run all things Texas Tech. I run all things sports for them. So I do a podcast, little show about every couple of weeks. So that's kind of what I do in the media space.
Nice. Yeah, I literally, guys, last night, I put out a post on our board, and I was like, anyone want to help me out tomorrow? Because I don't want to record this thing myself. I did it for the previous game and against UNCW. And that was, it's tough to talk 2.5 hours straight by yourself. But so happy to have them here. Guys, thank you all for being here. And again, if you're not subscribed to Scarlet and Black, we're doing a $1 for your first month promotion right now. This is really the best time to subscribe. We got the transfer portal stuff coming up. We got March Madness. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. The boards are very active right now, guys. This is the fun time of the year. But thank you all again for being here. We should have the second half starting pretty soon. What's up, Ace? Yeah, I posted on our board. So, but thank you for being here in the chat. Super excited to have everyone here. It looks like we're probably on pace to have roughly, close to 1,000 by the end of the stream, guys. Yeah, a lot to break down, or just a lot to kind of, I guess, consider for the first half, but also moving forward to the second half. I think Abreu has to be a center point for Texas Tech's defense. He actually has 9 points, and their second leading scorer from there is Cale Combs. I don't really know too much about him. He did go 1 of 1 from 3, 3 of 5 from the field. I think he hit a couple of those mid-range shots, guys. But Texas Tech, Sturts does have 6 assists. But, I think after that first kind of initial shock that Texas Tech had defensively, I don't think he scored the rest of the first half. He's only has 6 points. Not 100% sure on that. Really good job defending Sturts, though. They've kind of been rotating Christian Anderson and Elijah Hawkins on him. They're putting a lot of emphasis on him, which is maybe what's leading to some of those open 3-point shots. So we'll see if McCollum tries to scheme that up in the second half and kind of keep exploiting that, I guess, for Texas Tech defensively. But I'm super fascinated to see what they're going to do about JT Toppin. But at the same time, guys, it's like if you go and double Toppin, again, we've already talked about it. We have all the 3-point shooters, but then you have D5 on the other side. So they can do the same thing with D5. Like they already showed that ISO play, and D5 is strong. I don't think they have anyone that can guard him in the paint. So it's kind of like a pick your poison thing, right?
Yeah, I just don't know what Ben McCollum goes to, right? And I know he's a great coach, and I know he's going to have an adjustment. But the nice thing about, Grant and him being such great friends is maybe Grant can kind of anticipate what he's going to try to do here and counter adjust to the adjustment. Right. So, game is far from over. Right. But if you're a Red Raider, you got to love the spot you're in. Up 7. And they did a really good job there of winning the last 4 minutes of that half and kind of stretching the lead out slowly but surely. And while it's only a 3-possession game, and that's nothing against a team like Drake that could knock down a couple of threes. If the Red Raiders can go on the first run of this half and stretch it to 10 plus, at that point, I think Drake has to speed up their pace of play a little bit, because you run the risk of running out of possessions, right? And the Red Raiders have proven in this game and over the course of the year that they're a very efficient offense. They're one of the best in the country. They're top 10 in KenPom in offensive efficiency. If you can go on the first run, you really start to make the math difficult for Drake to continue to play slow.
Yeah, I agree. I think the first 4 minutes of the second half are going to be big, just to see what McCollum comes out with. I think that's going to be something that's really going to be hard for him to do anything. I think that's a scary thing for a coach, because whatever he does, Tech has a counter, and and I think he knows what the counter is, and so it's kind of hard. And they just brought it up. Drake doesn't even look like they're out of the locker room yet, and Tech's already warming up. So there's a lot of conversations going on in that locker room, it seems like.
This first run is so important, right? If the Red Raiders get it, you really put Drake in a tough spot. And if Drake gets it, obviously you got a game that can go either way. So it'll be really interesting to see how both teams come out and attack this first 4 minutes.
Yep, and I believe we're going to be starting here shortly. Let's see.
Hey, Austin, real quick, can you do me a favor? For whatever reason, it's not letting me connect to the chat to post my X handle. If you could post it in there for me, that would be helpful.
I got you, man.
Yeah, I set mine also. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I put it in the private chat, but it won't let me. I keep trying to sign in, and there's some sort of error.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it's a setting or anything like that. But yeah, and another thing that I heard the broadcast say kind of later in that second or first half, whenever Texas Tech was kind of having some runs, was that it feels they felt like Drake was almost starting to play to Texas Tech's pace, which is they kind of alluded to, which is not good for them. So that's something interesting to kind of look at. And I am going to put their handles here, guys, on X. Please give them a follow if you're not already. Let's see here.
I heard a stat from the Missouri Drake game. When Drake leads at half, they're almost unbeatable. And so I think that's something like you've talked about. Their pace of play is something that they use greatly. And so to have Tech with a 3 possession lead at half is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've said it a couple times, but you gotta love where you're at, right? The game is not over, but if you'd have told me before the game started that you were going to be up 7 at halftime and that JT and D5 were both going to be able to, in the first half, pretty much get whatever they wanted at the rim, I'd have taken that in a heartbeat. I mean, it's just such a good position to be in, and it'll be really interesting to see what Drake does to try to counter this.
And you're in a great spot foul wise. You don't have any foul trouble, and that's another thing that's a huge advantage for Tech.
That's a massive advantage.
They've done a great job defending without fouling, right? Making Drake, other than a couple of blown assignments where you gave up open threes, and Grant was very clearly unhappy about that. But I think they've done a really good job defending without fouling. And then I mentioned it earlier, but they're finishing possessions with rebounds, right? They're not letting Drake get second chances and easy putbacks. And against a team that wants to play slow, I think that's even more important, right? Because they get to kind of steal a possession, and if you limit that, you make their life that much more difficult.
Yep, I agree. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go run and grab a quick drink. I'll be right back. Looks like the second half is about to tip off here in a sec.
Mute my mic because I think my son's about to have a meltdown, toddler meltdown in there.
No worries. I'll be right back as well before it starts.
Second half is getting ready to start here, y'all. I think Austin and Logan have both stepped away briefly to get drinks and take a bathroom break. But we'll be locked in here for the second half, and we thank you so much for joining us here on the Scarlet and Black Insider live stream. And I apologize to anybody that can hear my son in the background. I've got a toddler, and he sometimes has toddler moments. So I apologize if you guys hear screaming. The broadcast is currently showing a little bit of what we were talking about with Drake's offense. Their ball movement's just really good. That possession, I think they highlighted like a 6-pass sequence there to get an open shot. And again, it's hard to not see the similarities between McCaslin and McCollum on how they approach offense.
Yeah, I agree. It's like watching a mirror image. They're all over the place. They're moving all over the place. We do the same thing.
Ball screen here, ball screen there. Pick and roll. The ball moves faster than the defense. I mean, you got to tip your hat to them.
All right. Does Drake have the ball for you guys right now?
Yes.
Yeah. We're off and running. 1950. So we're just getting started.
Okay, cool. I think I'm no more delay for me. Good
Awesome,
rebound
man.
from top in there.
I'm happy for you because I felt like we were ruining the first half there a little bit for you. 9-0 all time in the NCAA tournament, leading by 7 points at the half. You gotta love that.
Oh man, that was such a good look too.
Yeah, you live with that shot.
Yeah,
I think you're actually a half a second ahead of me now. So
he's ahead of me too.
Which is fine. I mean, it's not nearly as much of a delay as I think you were dealing with
earlier.
For us, where you were 5 to 7 seconds behind us, and
it was really bad.
We were ruining.
Wow, there you go. DJ? There's Sturts, the 3-pointer, man.
Yep.
That's what you worry about.
Yeah.
Don't want to see that guy get hot. That would be bad news for Tech.
Oh man. They called a foul. Okay, yeah, I called a foul there.
Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling a set play for Kerwin Walton. Let's get him an open look.
Yeah, we need to
try to get him involved. Not that I'm not thrilled with what we're getting from D5 and Toppin, but we need one of these three guards to knock down a shot and try to stretch this defense a little bit at some
There
point.
you go, D5. That's huge.
It doesn't look like
Yep.
no real change in defense there. We haven't seen him give it to JT, or I mean, we saw the first possession, and it looks.
And
like
that was a good look for JT too.
It was.
Like, that was a high percentage look.
He's going to knock that down 9 out of 10 times.
Oh, Michigan's made a little bit of a run to close it on the Aggies. It's 70-66 now.
Saw that.
Ooh, Auburn and Creighton are playing too. That's a good matchup.
Go Creighton.
All right, D5.
Beautiful.
Knock down the first free throw. Who is that they're showing, guys? Is that D5's dad?
It might be D5's dad.
I don't know. I would assume.
I have the game muted on my TV to not create an echo, so I have no idea what they're saying on the broadcast.
I'm gonna put my headset back on. I think it should be charged up now. All right, D5 2-2 from 3. Or sorry, from free throw.
Drake 2 of their last 12 inside.
Yeah, the Tech defense has definitely stiffened up a little bit.
That's beautiful.
Good help. Well done. Good help from Christian Anderson.
Nice trailer.
Oh man, the three's just not falling.
Man. Yeah, we're just not hitting.
Anderson can just not get going. I mean,
we could be up could be up big in this one, man.
Yeah, this.
You have to think they're going to start falling at some point.
At some point, they're going to knock one down.
That's just an impossible shot. Great defense from Tech.
They'll take
fantastic defense.
100.
That's our ball. There we go. Well done. The defense has definitely gotten better, right?
Yeah, and you can kind of see Sturts kind of panicking a little too, like kind of taking a really like uncharacteristic shot for Drake's
I think Drake
offense.
had 18 points at the 10-minute mark in the first half, and in the last 13 minutes of game time, you've held him to 15, almost 14 minutes of game time. So
here's the ice
defense
in here. Yep.
Nice D5. Dude,
nice take.
You love it. Yep. You got away with a little bit of a chicken
too.
Hook there that he got away with the turn, but hey, we'll take it.
And they're putting Anderson at the top of the key when they do that. So it's like if you double him, Anderson's gonna have a wide open 3-point shot. Good defense.
Another off balance,
another early possession shot too, or like early in the shot clock. So
uncharacteristic right now.
CA, come on, baby. No. Oh my gosh, it's so close, dude.
Oh man,
it's so close. Hey. I would have taken the lid off the stadium, man.
And that would have been a timeout for Drake, I think, for sure.
100%.
Let's see though. Let's see if I mean they're finally getting into their sets, but they forced 2 like super early shot clock shots for Drake. That's dude. You cannot leave Abreu that open, man. You just can't.
Christian Anderson, you cannot. Yeah, that's.
And that's the thing, guys. Drake is hitting their threes. Texas Tech is not. That is definitely something to watch. Just keep running good, clean offense, though. What is going on over there?
I don't know what's happening. That's got to be a foul.
Where's the foul? D5 is down, by the way. I don't know if he's. I hope he's not hurt. D5 is down.
It leads to a run out. How is that not a foul?
Oh no, guys! Oh no! Oh my gosh, dude!
Is it his ankle again? He's holding that ankle.
Oh fuck!
Achilles is what the broadcast said.
What?
That's what the broadcast says he's holding his Achilles.
How is that not a foul? I mean, like the guy's sticking his leg up on the ground and it just trips him essentially. Oh no, D5's going to the locker room.
No, that's not an Achilles.
Room, it didn't look like it. No.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not an Achilles. That's it looked like he rolled the ankle. Maybe he's just running off to get it retaped, but really encouraging to see him get up and sprint off like that, right? Jogging off. You'd like to think he'll be back.
Man, this has been a nightmare start to the half. We have to start hitting some shots, man. This is just.
I mean, it's so uncharacteristic, right? I thought for sure that after the really bad shooting night from 3 the other night, obviously they ended up making a decent amount just on the volume, but the percentage was significantly lower than what you're used to. I thought they'd break out of that tonight, but clearly that's not been the case so far.
I just can't believe they don't call it. Come on, CA, dude. It's short too.
Yeah, everything's
Don't shoot
short.
that. Don't shoot that.
Good. Oh,
Work it inside. There you go.
Toppin.
That's got to
Come
be.
on,
That's
baby.
got to be. Yeah, absolutely. You love to see that.
Just bizarre though. They don't call that foul, and then it leads to a fast break, a wide open layup.
I mean, it was clear as day a foul, right? Like it's not even something you can argue. Can't just.
And the guy was on
leg.
his ground. Yeah, he was on the ground and stuck his leg and his arm up and essentially tripped D5.
Should be tripping.
Oh, let's go,
Nice.
Toppin.
Boom, erased. Get out and run.
There you go. That's a foul on Sturts.
Yep.
That's a shooting foul too. Two free throws.
Is that 2 on Sturts or 1 on Sturts?
Let's see. Let's take a look at this.
Not that he's probably not a guy that's going to ever foul out of a game, right? Just with how he plays, but
I think that was his first.
His first. Okay.
But guys, the bigger thing to watch is like what's going on with D5, right? Like that's this team cannot make a deep run in the tournament without D5. It's just not going to happen.
No, it'll be really interesting to see when he comes back. Like I said, the encouraging.
He was running.
You do like to see him running back to the locker room, so that makes you feel pretty good that at some point he comes back into this game.
Maybe they're going to do like a quick tape or something. Like that's maybe what I'm thinking. They're going to do a quick tape on his ankle or a brace or something. But
you certainly need him healthy, especially with how much question mark there is right now around Chance McMillan's situation. Like, if you get through this game, I don't know that you can beat Arkansas without both of those guys, right? Like, I think you need at least D5 out there. And what I've heard is that, Chance is going to try to go next week, but, that remains to be seen if he's able to go. I don't know if you guys heard the quote from McCaslin yesterday, but that wasn't very encouraging.
No.
Where he talked about not being able to have confidence to play at a high level, and that's not a good sign.
For what it's worth, I'm reading here on Twitter, and it says, D5 goes to the locker room, but it also says that Ben McCollum picked up a technical at the end of that.
Oh, did he?
For what? Foul, on the foul. He was arguing the foul on Sturts.
Oh, okay. So then that means that's probably 2 points, right? Elijah Hawkins will come out and take those free throws. And you got to have confidence that he's going to knock those down. Yeah.
Taking a look at the box score, by the way, guys, and Abreu now has 4 3-pointers, 4 of 5 from 3. I mean, he's essentially made most of their 3-point shots, but they're now shooting 6 of 10 from 3, 60%.
Is that Christian Anderson's cover?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I said, is that Christian Anderson's cover? Is that his assignment?
No. Abreu is I'm assuming D5 whenever D5 or Toppin. Yeah, I'm not sure which one. He's one of their forwards.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know, guys. If we can just win this game and get out of Wichita, our team does not like these Wichita rims. Yeah, they don't like,
not at all.
They don't like these Wichita. We're 1 of 8 from 3 right now, guys. 1 of 8.
It's so uncharacteristic.
It's like CA is one of the purest shooters that we have on our team, which is saying a lot. And he's 0 of 4. Yeah. I think he was 1 of 8 yesterday. And he's getting good looks too. So it's like
that's what I was about to say. Is unlike the other night where I felt like they forced some threes. I feel like all of the shots tonight, with maybe the one exception of the Kerwin Walton step back early in the game, have been quality looks that you're thrilled as a Red Raider to see go up, and they're just not going down.
Oh, McCollum wasn't pissed about the Hawkins foul. He was pissed about the Toppin.
That was a clean block.
That was a clean block. McCollum's doing what McCaslin did in that Houston game. He's trying to get their guys amped up.
So this in college, it's 2 for a technical, right? So Hawkins gets to shoot 4 here.
I think it's 1, but I could be wrong.
Is it 1 in the ball?
I don't know. Guess we're gonna
see opportunity to stretch the lead here, though. For sure.
No, it looks like I think you're right. It looks like he's shooting 2. Yeah, it looks
it's
like
2 in the ball. It's
and then 2 in the ball. 2 on the shooting foul.
So you potentially, and he's a great free throw shooter, right? So he gets to make 4 free throws, and then you get the ball, a chance to really stretch the lead here.
All right, so now for the 2 free throw shots. Okay.
Yep. That's great. So you're going to potentially be up 9 with the ball, a chance to push it to double digits. I mean,
Do we get the ball too? I don't know if we
It
get the
doesn't
ball.
look like it looks like they're bringing them to the line.
Right, but on a technical foul, I think it's 2 in the ball, isn't it? So you shoot the 2 free throws, and then we get possessed. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I wish I knew that better. That
know.
may be for like a flagrant 2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Regardless,
sure.
for a potential
For 4
4-point
free throws.
possession,
Yeah.
yeah, that's massive. These guys, by the way, the Drake guys behind the bench dressed as McCollum. That's hilarious. You gotta love
Hey,
that.
knock the
Dude.
ball
Okay,
down. That's big.
so no possession, but
no
4
ball,
free throws.
but okay. I guess
All right,
that's
this
just
is
NBA
guys,
then.
big
My
defensive
apologies.
possession here. Big defensive possession.
Absolutely. My bad, guys. I guess that's just NBA.
I know in the NBA for sure it is. I couldn't have told you here.
I don't think they haven't shown D5 yet on the broadcast either. I'm not sure what's going on with him.
Good defensive possession so far.
That's
According
a
to
really
Nathan
fuck.
Geis, he hasn't appeared yet.
Uh-oh.
All over him.
Possession, jump. Oh, no.
This is great defense, though.
It is. It's good defensive possession. Traveling.
That looked like a travel, yeah.
I mean, they're guarding for 50 seconds here.
What a possession, guys.
I mean,
Come
that
on,
is
man.
Great job.
What a defensive possession.
I do think Drake got away with the travel there, too, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. It was close. The Tech needs to slow down here, run some offense. No force.
Get a good shot. Get a good shot and push this to 10.
No, come
Over
on, dude.
Oh.
That's such bullshit.
Oh,
That was a fucking flop. That was a flop.
that's the makeup call for the Tech, right? He
Okay,
gets one call.
D5 just
D5
came out,
is
by
back,
the way.
and
Yeah,
he's
just
about
saw
to
him
check
come
in.
out.
Good.
He looks like he's walking
Nope,
fine.
no, he's not.
limping.
He's working it. He's trying to get in. That's a big. At
Yeah,
least
he's coming back in this game, guys. I feel really good about that at this point.
They're calling a foul on that? Come on,
oh,
man.
come on.
What?
Here come the makeup calls, guys.
For what?
Here come the
Yeah,
makeup
back
calls.
to back. You know, he gets the Tech, and now he gets a couple of quick whistles. You
Right.
gotta love officials, right?
Man, it felt like, I don't know if y'all watched that St. John's Arkansas game, but it felt like it was like they would make a bad call, and then there would be a makeup call, and then they make a bad call and another makeup call. It like kept going back and forth. I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
All right, D5. Yeah. What is this, a timeout?
Yeah,
Under
Okay, media
16.
timeout?
Yeah,
Okay.
under 16 media. I will say
That's
this
a good
about
sign, though,
if you do get through this game and you get to Arkansas, I would like to see a game that's officiated a little tighter, given how physical Arkansas likes to play, and you're a good free throw shooting team. But you got to get through this one first.
Yep. So, by the way, it looks like Elijah Hawkins broke the single season assist leader.
Good for him.
Congrats to him. He's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just your classic point guard, right? I mean, pass first, and for this team with the amount of shooters and the rim runner that you have in Toppin, it's a perfect fit.
Man, if they would have called that flop, though, that would have been massive. That was a flop. It was 100%.
Absolutely, it was a flop.
I like the Tech's response though when Drake cut it to 3. To push it back out.
Push it right back out. Absolutely,
back out is nice.
I mean, other than the first 4-minute segment of the game, I feel like the Red Raiders have really controlled the game. They're definitely not letting Drake take them out of what they want to do, and I think that's something that Drake hangs their hat on, right? Is being able to impose their will on other teams with their slow style. But unlike Missouri, who did not handle it well, like we talked about in the pregame, I think the Red Raiders have done a really good job of adapting to the slow pace and playing a highly efficient game. And they've gotten a lot of really good looks from running their sets, and hopefully that'll continue here for the last 14 minutes.
Yeah, I think we talked about this all year. I've heard numerous, especially on the boards, Tech can win in so many different ways that they match up so well with everybody. Like last game, you shoot 46 3-pointers, and you come into this game with a slower team. You have to be more efficient. You give it to your 2 all-league players and just let them take over. I think that's just something that works in March, and McCastle's done a great job building this team for sure.
Yeah, I saw Emery posted a X post, and he was saying that exact thing, Logan. He was like, for a team that just took 46 3-point shots, and they come out here and now they're dominating in the paint. He's like, that's why I think this team is so special. So I think you're right. Hit the nail right on the head. But definitely, let's hope that this doesn't become this crazy officiating, battle back and forth, makeup calls. I thought that was 2 pretty bad calls back to back. The flop was pretty obvious.
The flop was
bad. I also don't know if I want KO like backing people down like that. That's not necessarily his game, because it's like, where does he go from there, right? Like it's like he's not really efficient from the mid range, and he hasn't been super efficient at the rim. So I don't know if I love that, but regardless, was a flop, which would have been free throws. So.
Although to your point, if this turns into a ref show, right? I mean, I know we didn't shoot free throws great against UNCW, but I'll take this team in a free throw contest against almost anybody. We shoot free throw. We have a bunch of guys that shoot it really well.
Yeah, from what I saw at the end of the Missouri Drake game the other day,
Drake struggles from the line.
They don't handle the free throw line very well.
Let's see. What is I can't see the broadcast on the fouls. What's the foul count? Drake has 4 fouls.
4 to 2. Yeah, it's 4 to 2. So we're 3 away from being in the bonus.
Needs to
attack the rim.
Attack. Yeah,
absolutely. Put your head down and get to the free throw line.
D5 is back in, by the way. KO's in for Walton.
I actually really like this lineup defensively. This is repost. There you go.
I'm gonna have to shoot it.
Go to work.
That's a bad shot.
And you got 3 people on him.
Man, fuck.
Yeah, not a good possession there from the Red Raiders.
Not a good
possession.
Shot clock at least stopped the run out.
So yeah, they can get out in transition.
He probably should have taken that mid range. Oh my gosh, yeah. Michigan up 9. Wow. Yeah, he had a really good look at the top of the key. He probably needs to just pop that.
Yeah,
the Aggies might be cooked here. The Aggies might be cooked.
Big turn. I mean, they were up 9 earlier,
and that's not a team that scores it in a high volume either. I mean, they can struggle offensively at times.
It looks, I mean, they aren't even guarding this guy at 3-point line.
Dude, no. Abreu is just torching us.
Dude.
Quit leaving that guy open.
Got to start guarding that guy.
Unbelievable. I believe he's 5 of 6 from 3 now.
Yep.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh, they're full doubling.
They're full now. Going. JT. They're going all over JT.
There's the adjustment. There's the adjustment from McCollum.
From the backside.
Gotta pop that, Hawkins. Pop it, Hawkins. Oh, what a tip in from D5.
Nice, D5.
Oh my gosh.
How did that go? Wow.
Reminds me a lot of that. At some
point, one of these guards has got to knock a 3 down. I mean,
dude, we have to start hitting some shots.
Especially if McCollum has made the decision that we're no longer going to give up the paint, right? And
I mean,
run the double.
CA is playing so far off of Abreu on the perimeter. I don't know.
McCaslin might need to. Well, we only have 2 timeouts left. I was going to say he might want to take one here because the defense seems to be struggling, but going to let his guys play through it.
All right, they're fronting Toppin, or they were.
They're all over Toppin now.
Foul from 3. There we go. All right,
there's a foul. Yep, there it is.
Absolutely, for our best free throw shooter. So you'll love to see that.
That stat that just popped up a few minutes ago. I mean, 11 second chance points to 0 for Drake. Like that's just a credit to JT and D5 down low for sure.
Those two, but I think it's been a good team effort. I mean, they've done a good job clearing the defensive glass as a unit and not getting a team that wants to play slow, easy buckets and on putbacks.
Man, I'm kind of just getting frustrated at this point with the Abreu stuff. I just don't get it. They're sagging off of him so much. I don't get that. Like,
stop helping off of him. Like,
I'm not worried about them. Like, they're not really scoring at the rim that easily right now. Like, I don't think we need to be sagging that. I don't know if you saw the last possession. C5 or Christian Anderson was basically damn near at the block, and Abreu's just in the corner, like sitting there.
You cannot leave. And at this point, if I'm McCaslin at this under 12 timeout, I'm saying you do not leave that guy, right? Because he's clearly got it going tonight. If somebody else starts making him, so be it. But like that guy doesn't knock down another open 3. We don't help off of him.
And it's just one of these shots. You just feel like it's coming soon, man. We need a 3-point shot. Yeah.
And hopefully it's a situation where once you make one, right, you kind of take the lid off the basket a little bit, and it gets a little easier for everybody.
Big free throws from Hawkins there. Big free throws.
That's seven free throws from him in the last 3 minutes of the game. It constitutes the entire lead right now for the Red Raiders.
All right, so Hawkins is on Abreu in the corner now. He's playing him tighter.
He is.
Yeah, do not leave and do not help off of him.
And he wants the ball. I mean, he's got his hands up the whole possession.
Yeah,
he
you
wants
can
the
tell.
ball.
That's a really good
That's
defense.
real good defense.
You live with that,
dude,
right?
Just stick Abreu. Stick Abreu. That's all you got to do right now.
If Sturts wants to take that off balance, fall away, mid-range jump shot, the rest of the game, I'm totally fine with that as a Red Raider.
Good pass. Oh, good movement.
That's a nice.
Oh, fuck. That was such good ball movement, man.
Christian Anderson, man.
He has been off this weekend.
All right, that was a pretty good look from them there.
There we go. Get a bucket.
Come on, boys. We need a bucket. D5. Oh my gosh, it's just not falling, fellas. They look like they're good too. It's like that's what's so crazy.
They're good looks, right? Like I'm happy taking those shots.
They're really trying to post Hawkins up a lot.
Yeah, keep guarding on this end.
What is this, dude? That was just
what are we doing?
What just happened? The guys just fell asleep. He just cut right into the paint. No one's even looking.
I don't know what happened there. Get to
McCaslin
the under 12.
Gotta be furious here.
He is. You can see it in his body language over there.
All right, come on, guys. This is a big possession here.
We need a bucket.
Maybe a Kerwin Walton 3, man.
Yeah,
if anyone's going to hit a 3, it's him. Kick it to him. He's open, D5. What in – oh, okay.
Oh, what is that?
Wait, what did they –
That's the second kind of wild. That's the second kind of wild. No way was that on the cylinder.
Yeah, wait, what?
Review that, yes. Well, I mean, I think isn't the way, like, if you call it, then you can review it. If you don't call it, you can't review it or something like that in college.
Oh, did he grab the rim, though?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Fuck, man.
I was gonna say the ball definitely wasn't on the cylinder, but that's not something that is arguable.
But
right?
you can. But I don't know the rule exactly. I think you just can't like hang on the rim.
I don't know. I think that's gonna get waved off.
Yeah,
bottom line is the bottom line is if the Red Raiders want to win this game, they've got to knock down a 3 or 2. Like, I just don't think that you can win it only making 2s the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's 3-point shots not falling, and again, there's just some of these like weird, just kind of missed assignments. I mean, that last one was really bad. I mean, 6 just cut into the paint right through the free throw line, and no one even.
Yeah,
I'd have to go back and look, but I mean, I don't know who was on him, but they didn't even turn their head. Like he just cut for free, essentially. All right, 47-52 lead for Texas Tech, though. JT Toppin's on the bench right now. That was definitely a kind of a sketchy pass from D5 there. I know he was trying to get Fetty on the lob, but definitely don't love that. Taking a look at the box score, though, Derry Williams up to 20 points, JT Toppin 21 points, JT Toppin already a double-double. Elijah Hawkins with 9 points. Those seven free throws were huge, guys. Like if he goes 4 of 7 there, I mean, this is a different game right now, right?
Yeah, we're having different.
Bottom line is the bottom line is one of Christian Anderson, Kerwin Walton, or Kevin Overton has got to contribute in the scoring column at the end of the day. Otherwise, I just don't know that it's going to be very hard to win this game if one of those 3 guys doesn't give you at least 7 or 8 points down the stretch here.
And I mean, the good news is for Drake on the flip side, they really only have 3 scorers right now: Abreu, Sturts, and Combs. So it's kind of it's relatively evenly distributed there, I guess. But yeah, to have, I mean, really, you have like 98% of your points from 3 players on Tech's side. You don't love to see that.
And I think on the Drake side of it, right, which you just touched on, I think the adjustment on Abreu should be easy, right? That guy can't create his own shot based on what I've seen. So just don't help off of him. And again, I understand Sturts is the straw that stirs the drink, and he's a guy that can score the basket. But At some point you can't take away everything, right? And so, like, I'm okay living with these off balance, fall away shots that he continues to take from 12 to 14 feet. And, if he makes a bunch of them down the stretch, tip your hat. But, I think that's what you want to give up as opposed to the open look for Abreu in the corner.
Fellas, I will be right back. I'm going to use the restroom super quick.
Aggies are down 5 with 2 to play here.
Looks like they counted the bucket. Is it? No. Sorry, my broadcast is off. Oh wait, they did count the bucket.
Oh, they did count it. Okay,
they did count it.
So I guess you can. Austin was right. I guess you can touch the cylinder as long as you don't hang on it.
I guess so. Or unless I have no idea. I don't know. Oh, the rim did not move. The broadcast said that's why it's not basket interference. Okay.
Good. Missed 3 there. Push the ball. If you can get this to 9 or 10, I would feel really good.
Yeah, we need a bucket right here. It goes a long way. I thought that maybe they took JT out for the timeout. Oh, Kerwin. Oh my! Everybody's short tonight. Everyone.
It's and they're wide open looks. I mean, if you could tell me, if I could pick.
All right, what did I miss?
You missed a wide open three-pointer from Kerwin.
Set his feet and everything, and just left it short.
It looks like we did score though.
It did. They counted.
They counted
that
it.
basket. Yeah, because I guess what the broadcast said was, and Logan pointed out, was that the rim didn't move when he touched the rim, so that's why it counted.
Got it. Okay, well that's big. Kerwin missed a wide open 3 though.
With his feet set. I mean, if you could pick one of your
D5 shots. Come on, man.
Nice.
Just keep bullying them, dude.
It's what we said in the pregame, guys. I mean, we talked about the size advantage for D5 and JT.
Speed Drake up too. Like if they want to keep taking shots early in the shot clock, I'm all in on that.
Absolutely.
Good defense from Fetty. Come on, man.
Erase it. There you go. Good rebound.
Big rebound. Big
Way to
time
attack
rebound.
The ball. Get a bucket here. Push this.
Fetty going straight up like that was just so good. Elijah, baby. Come on.
Let's go.
Hey.
We haven't seen that from him. Look at that.
Yeah, flexing on
man.
him. Let's go.
Let's
yeah,
go.
force the timeout. That's big.
Great. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use this as an opportunity. Really quick. I'm going to be right back.
That's a big shot.
Hi, buddy.
Went
that
right
just gives
at
Elijah
him,
a whole different, that's just a whole different thing we haven't seen.
Yeah, I mean he's struggled with that throughout the whole year, Yeah,
I can't even count the number of times we've had a fast break layup, and he's been trying to get contact, and they just don't call it for him either.
Nah, KO and Elijah never get fucking fouls called on them in the paint. I swear, ever. All right. Really good stuff, though. Let's take a look at the box score again really quick. D5 is now the leading scorer, 22 points. Hawkins up to 11 points.
You got 3 guys scoring all but 4 points.
It's kind of crazy. But again, like, it's not one of those situations where D5 and Toppin are taking these like super low percentage shots. These are high percentage shots. I mean, D5 is having his way inside. I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
BSB says this is big, holding the lead there with JT on the bench for a bit. I completely agree. For them to be able to kind of hold their ground with Fetty. What a great defensive possession from Fetty there, right? Like he's so tall and long. It's very easy for the officials to kind of call fouls on him because of that. But he went straight up, and that's textbook defense. It's good, no foul call there by the officials. But man, Logan, it's like we're seeing some really good defensive possessions from Tech, more good than bad. It's like if we can eliminate those kind of breakdowns, then you're in really good shape, right? Because at the end of the day, you're going to beat this Drake team by playing really good defense. The offense for Texas Tech is going to come, in my opinion. We need to focus on defense for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've seen it. Like when Tech plays great defense, I mean, these tough shots, they hit a couple at the beginning minutes, but those hard circus shots haven't fell since. I mean, Sturts has take 5 or 6 of those fadeaway jumpers, and he's only hit 1 or 2. Like those are shots that really, and you can see Drake is starting to play a little bit more Tech style. Like we talked about that at halftime. but they're speeding up quite a bit. I haven't noticed as many late shot clock shots as I did in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this game.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Drake is still shooting over 50% from three, and Abreu is 5 of 7 from three. So it's like you like your and if you really look at it statistically, Texas Tech is shooting well below their Steven. I mean, 1 of 11 from three, guys.
That's insane.
1 of 11 from three from Texas Tech. I mean, if you make 2 of these, I mean, you're up, double digits, right? So it's like something to keep an eye on. I mean, typically these types of things balance out. Like, you hope that Texas Tech's going to knock down a few of these down the stretch. And you would imagine for a Drake team that doesn't shoot the three super well, eventually those numbers are going to start going down, but we'll see what happens. Drake's got the ball now though, guys. Let's see here. What's the score? 58-49. Good defense once again. We got to get that offensive rebound though, man. They're going to call a foul and fuck. Got to get that offensive rebound. That's
great. I think that's great defense from Elijah. He's undersized against this guy. He's got him, but I mean, playing stifling defense. They're holding his ground.
Yeah, you just don't want to give this Drake team second possessions. That's the problem.
Oh, right.
Yeah, for sure. I mentioned it earlier, though, guys. I don't think he gets near enough credit for being as good of a defender as he is.
Yep. He's kind of become like last year's Joe Toussaint, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's feisty.
Just a way better passer.
Correct. I mean, I would take him all day long with no disrespect to Joe Toussaint.
I like Joe Toussaint.
There's a second chance bucket right there.
Yep.
It's like those things add up in the long run, guys.
It's okay. Just answer here, score.
They're fronting Toppin now. He's doing a pretty good job trying to get out of it. This is where Tech kind of can get a little bit wonky offensively whenever they don't get
bottom
that
line here, guys, is if the Red Raiders get to 70, I think the math becomes very difficult for Drake with how much time's left.
That's a foul, man. Like, where's the foul call? He's all over CA.
All over him.
Bad look, though. They can't panic whenever they front Toppin like that. They just can't. Got to calm down.
0 of 7 from three this half. Man, we just cannot buy one.
Nope. They're going to try and keep isolating
Hawkins all night. Yep.
All right, good.
But he's done very well.
Good defense.
Good rotation. Live with
really
this.
Good defense, man.
Great job,
Come on, KO.
Well done.
That's beautiful. Elijah
again, guys. I mentioned a second
and
ago,
what?
But if the Red Raiders.
Ooh. That's a good fucking. That's a great sequence there, man. Great sequence. Dude, I keep getting spammed with these like March Madness stream comments in YouTube. I've been like
the Aggies are going down 40 seconds down.
Yeah. Goodbye A&M.
I'm not gonna lie, that actually really surprises me. I thought they would beat Michigan for sure. Oh no, I missed the free throw. Fuck.
Everything's short tonight though.
It is very, very odd, man. We do not like these rims. I don't know what it is.
Survive and get to San Francisco next week.
Come on, KO. Yep. We'll take 1 or 2. Come on.
Knock the second one down, buddy.
There you go. All right, one stop. Come on, boys.
You're definitely ahead.
Yeah, you're ahead.
You've got us by 2 different seconds now.
I'll just delay my commentary by like 2 seconds.
It's fine, man.
No, it's fine. Yes.
I just want a Red Raider win, right? If I've got to watch it on a 2-second delay, knowing the outcome, as long as it's a good outcome, that's fine.
Man, that's too easy.
Yeah, you can't give that up.
Fuck.
Come on, guys, keep playing.
They gotta start calling some fouls on this shit. They're all over Toppin and them.
Especially
what a pass from Hawkins.
Nice. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Especially with us being in the bonus on the next foul, right? Like they're letting Drake get away with a lot of pushing and shoving at the moment.
Particularly on top end. They're playing him very physical.
Yes. The Toppin welcomes that, right? Like he's a physical guy. So
dude, look at this defense Hawkins is playing on Sturz.
He's all over him.
I think Hawkins has been outstanding.
That could have been a moving screen. Great defense, dude. Holy crap, Hawkins.
He tried to draw a foul. Did you see him kick his leg out trying to dive?
Could have been called for a fucking offensive foul there.
Yeah, he definitely threw the leg out and then tried to sell the dive. Get a bucket here and really put the clamps on him.
I
Dude,
know we talked about
there we
Hawkins a lot,
go.
but I think
There you go,
this right
Toppin.
here is when
Foul.
he's
Let's go, baby. Come on.
Oh, he's all over this guy. God,
Let's go.
And one. Nope. But still.
Guys, the math is getting more and more difficult for Drake here as this
yeah.
game winds down.
Just no open looks. Just make everything
exactly.
hard.
And again, if the Red Raiders can get to 70,
oh, what a JT Toppin! Oh my god!
Oh hell,
yeah.
Dude.
Wow.
Holy
This
crap.
team, man. It's amazing.
Bucket here, and if you get a bucket
Wow.
here, you really put Drake in a tough spot.
Dude, that was incredible. Guys, the actual fundamentals from Texas Tech defensively have been elite. They are going straight up. They're not allowing these refs to call a foul.
Yep. And Logan, I think you mentioned it earlier. The Red Raiders find different ways to win. They're winning tonight with their defense.
What a pass from Kerwin too. He's not limping, is he? I don't think so.
Nah, he's all right. He's all right.
Dude, how was that not a foul? The guy literally had his hands wrapped around JT's waist.
He's been fouled 4 or 5 times on that play.
I think he's just exhausted because he's getting shoved and he's trying to hold his ground.
You see that? You see that defense from JT there? Wow. We saw the same thing from Fetty earlier, just straight up. Like that's textbook, dude.
Toppin's trying to take a moment here to catch his breath.
I think he's tired. Yeah.
Just make one of two, man.
These are big free throws, man.
Sometimes the free throw line can be a little bit of an adventure with Toppin. Right. So I'll take one of two here.
I like that they're showing their parents. It's kind of cool.
You got to feel good, guys. I mean, up 11.
Grabbing at guys. He's like, I have my monitor.
Like, it looks like he's rubbing his calf out.
Rubbing his knee or.
What's up with this team and their calves, man?
Really?
Wow. Very.
Get these guys some electrolytes or something, some pickle juice.
Right.
All right, both free throws, huge free throws from JT.
There we go.
I think, Hawkins playing all 40 in the first round and not coming out for but maybe a couple minutes tonight. I mean, he is just a horse.
Dude, he is. He is an animal.
Guarding Sturts all night long.
Whoa!
I mean, him and
to me, I don't know. That was like another one of those. JT's saying, he said, my hands were straight up.
Yeah.
That was really no different than that first one.
Sometimes you got to tip your hat on the Academy Award-winning performance there on their.
That was not a foul at all. Oh my gosh, that was like
what a great flop! I mean,
that's good defense, man.
Give the man
that's
the
good defense.
Well, that's well done on the flop, man. You contort your body.
Wow.
KO, get over there.
McCaslin unhappy with the defensive rotation. I love his fire on the sidelines.
All right, 2 free throws for Drake. We have a chance to cut it to 10. What do we got here? 4 minutes left, guys. 4:06.
I think it's too early to start trying to work the clock, but you're about a minute to a minute and a half away from really starting to slow the game down yourself.
What, they called a foul on that?
Oh, dang.
What are we watching right now? That's
Sorry
another
for the high pitched, irritated squeal there from me.
Oh, we didn't. We didn't hear anything. It's all good. I'm just trying to keep these damn spam bots out of the YouTube chat.
Was that anybody who had the broadcast? Did they go fishing together or something? Was that what that graphic was, or just showing that they both like to fish?
Yeah, that was all them together. I think it was Linder and McCollum. McCaslin tells the story. It feels like every fucking week, but they go trout fishing all the time. Apparently,
the three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you mentioned the three of those guys go way back.
So guys, that's a 3-point possession for Drake there. That's definitely not ideal. 9-point game, 4 minutes left. I'm all for just kind of having some methodical offensive sets here, but it's definitely too early to.
I think you're about a minute early on that. I mean, I'd like
to
get
a 3-point shot here.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be nice.
They're running the double.
Dude, T5 is just unstoppable.
He's all over. Yeah,
he have is no not answer. Gonna lose. D5 is not gonna let this team lose this game. I mean, he's been
about as good as you can be.
This is amazing to watch.
Just playing on a classic
good defense. Down low. What is happening right now? What are these foul calls?
Oh,
what?
Oh, I don't know about that one. No way.
D5's laughing. Like, on what
D5's
planet
laughing.
is that a foul?
Dude, that's really bad, guys. That's really fucking bad.
That's Big 12 official level bad. And that's saying something because the Big 12 officials, are, as we all know, are inconsistent at best.
Is it commercial break for y'all, or am I just seeing an ad?
Yeah. No. Commercial.
All right.
Well, as we head into the under 4, go ahead, Austin. I'll let
go
you
ahead.
Said it.
Go in.
I was just gonna say, as we hit the under 4 timeout here, game is not over. We've said that a couple times, but you gotta love the spot if you're the Red Raiders, right? A lead against a team. You've got a 9-point lead against a team that an 11-point lead against a team that doesn't want to push the pace. They're gonna have to, right? I mean, the math and the clock are becoming your best allies.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I've harped on Hawkins all day, but right now, right here is the perfect time to have him as your point guard. He's able to control the game better than anybody, and arguably anybody in the country. So right here, he always makes the right plays, and I think this is a great spot for Tech.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah. And guys, I mean, really, was that three possessions in a row where Tech's got called for a really questionable foul call?
Yeah,
very ticky-tack. I mean, this I'm not really sure what's going on with that. If they're going to call those, let's call them on the other end as well, because they're all over D5. They're all over top end.
The two-hand shoves on top end get ignored, but we get called for ticky-tack touch fouls when they're going up for layups.
Yeah, I mean, I think earlier they showed a freaking replay, and the guy literally was hugging top and around the waist, like just holding him. Nothing.
Bear hug.
And he still scored. So, but let's take a look at the box score super quick.
Yeah, I was going to add one thing we haven't really touched on today, and I mean that's the lack of turnovers. I mean, they turn people over at a extremely high rate, and only have 4 team turnovers is exceptional. And I mean, Drake's only turned the ball over, or 3 or 4, I think, but I think Drake's only turned the ball over 4 times.
You mentioned him on the
3 turnovers, by the way.
Yeah.
3 turnovers.
You mentioned him. You mentioned him on the defensive end. Because that's Elijah Hawkins, man. I mean, the guy's just he's a great point guard. He doesn't turn the ball over. He gets it. He distributes it. And
I mean, he has 0 tonight, right? I think.
Yeah, and to your point, he's done a great job on Sturts. I mean, you can't ask any more of what he's given you tonight.
Dude, he is sticking to him, and it's fantastic. His energy level is really something special. But
he's a senior, doesn't want to go home.
Yep.
Logan, that's a fantastic point. 3 turnovers for Texas Tech, but also how about this? Drake has only shot 8 free throws on the game. This is a top 15 team nationally in getting to the free throw line, and Tech has been kind of they have fouled a lot at times. I mean, Big 12 officiating is interesting because you get those games where it's like they touch the guy's hip and they're like foul, and it's like, and then all of a sudden you're in the bonus with 15 minutes to play, it's like,
and then the next game it's a WWE wrestling match,
right? Exactly.
Nothing gets called.
I mean, how about the fact that Auburn is trailing at the half?
I mean,
Auburn has been struggling lately. They have been struggling. Their struggle is real. All right, he knocked down the first free throw, knocked down the second. 9-point game, guys. 3 minutes and 29 seconds.
Yeah, you're like 5 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah,
now.
he's way ahead of me.
I guess mine slowed down.
I switched to HBO. It made all the difference.
There you go.
Foul. Thank you. I mean, my gosh, what do we got to do here?
All right, I might be switching to HBO too.
Hey, I'll try to slow down a little bit.
No, you're good, man.
It's so hard.
Again, I said it earlier. I'm fine knowing the result of what I'm watching as long as it's a good result for the Red Raiders, right? I just want to get out of here with a win and get to a Sweet 16.
Plus 30 in the paint.
There's got to be a way we could I didn't realize you were in the bonus. Good big free throw. There's got to be maybe for the next one, if you guys want to do this again, maybe there's a way we could stream the game from Discord or something, so we all have the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
same feed.
Definitely.
That would be good. I'm definitely down to do it again for the next one for sure.
The next game would be next weekend.
It's
Thursday,
either Thursday or
Thursday?
Friday. The only caveat for me will be what time they play, because if it's a day that my wife's at the hospital, I've got to get my son down for bed. But it's a West Coast game, so I assume we're probably going to be a late game.
Yeah,
so
we'll figure it out. Sturts 3-pointer, missed it. Oh my gosh, good offensive rebound.
That might be the first clean look that Sturts has had in a while.
Yes,
second one.
Oh heck no!
That's Tech ball. There we go.
Tech ball, yes.
What a bad shot there. I don't know.
I don't know.
Chunked that up.
I love to hear C4 isn't really shot the ball well, but that's Hawkins. Never mind.
That's Hawkins once again.
Hawkins is in there scrapping, dude.
Yeah,
to what
my
you
fault.
said,
should have known.
To what you said earlier, Austin, I think now's the time you get really methodical, right?
Absolutely.
You're up 10,
well, you can tell Drake's already pressuring.
Yeah, they're pressing for sure.
CA. Oh, let's go.
Did we knock?
Yes!
Oh, yes, finally. Oh, my Lord.
He did the same thing yesterday, too, bro. He didn't hit any, but then Hawkins. Oh, my gosh. Let's go.
Nice play.
Damn, Hawkins is like on the fucking broadcast booth.
At this point, guys, the math is really hard for Drake at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's as long as you make free throws, like this game is borderline over.
Yeah. This is about as perfect of a situation if you're Tech that you would be.
Absolutely.
This right here. And
once again, against a vaunted defense, the Red Raider offense and its efficiency finds a way to break the 70-point mark. And we just score on everyone, guys. This offense is so good.
So good.
And that's with not shooting the three well, right? It's like what I said, in the pregame about the game against UNCW is they broke 80 with not shooting it, and they're going to break 70 tonight without shooting it.
I've been so impressed though from Texas Tech defensively, guys. Like, I mean, this has been a different level of defense than what we've seen from this team all season. Like this has been elite defense. Like this Drake team isn't like a high octane offense, but they're efficient and they're good at what they do. We know Texas Tech offensively can beat anyone on any given night. Like I have no doubt about that. Oh, he missed the free throw too. Wow.
Yeah, like you were saying, we knew the offense was going to compete with anybody, but I mean, I've always got to have a defense to win in March, and they've stepped up big time tonight for sure. Like they've been.
I don't know about you guys, but tomorrow I've just become a big UConn fan. I'd love to get Florida out of the way before next weekend.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes.
If we can get Florida out of there.
They're nice.
Yeah, that's the one team I don't really want to see.
Hawkins, baby.
Let's go.
Wow. Into the rim tonight.
We're going to the Sweet 16.
I think we can start celebrating a Sweet 16 berth here. I think this is feeling really good.
Look at Hawkins, man. Still scrapping.
Dude, he is just balling out on both sides.
Oh.
He can't believe that was called.
No, he's not happy with that one. He's so shifty with the ball in his hand. It's like a magician out there.
Yeah, absolutely. What a ball fake in full stride. I mean, that's just you can't teach that, right? Like guys either know how to do things like that or they don't.
D5 space shows it all. I mean, that's gross. What a game.
My gosh, guys. Awesome. It was getting pretty sketchy there too. To start the game, we're getting a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I mean, I think we're in celebration party mode now, gentlemen. That's
right. I'm getting my
punching a ticket. Ready. Punch the ticket. And
Aaron Luna says Toppin's been great, but Elijah is the MVP. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. Like,
I think it's hard to not give credit to all three of them, right? I mean, like those three guys have just all been so good tonight.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about multiple times. Everybody knows D5, everybody knows JT, and everybody knows Chance, but Elijah has just been, arguably, like you were saying, like he's been one of the most important pieces to Texas Tech, especially in this run that they've had over the last couple of months. I mean, he's about as good as it gets. And he's not very tall. So that's what makes it even more impressive.
All heart, man. All heart. I remember whenever we signed Hawkins in the portal cycle last offseason, I remember I got a bunch of JT's working on his calf over there, by the way. Hopefully it's just a cramp or something.
Yeah, this team and calves, man.
But I remember I got a lot of messages, and everyone was like, I like him, but he's just so damn small. But hey, he's making it work right now.
Every time I think of Hawkins, I look at that. I think it was some Minnesota account saying, I hope you enjoy the money because you're not going to win. I was like, yeah, how's it looking now? I mean, he's a catalyst on one of the best teams in the country.
That's looking like an all-time bad take now.
So who was saltier, Minnesota fans or Georgia Tech fans when Romello Height immediately committed to Tech?
Right.
I mean, which fan base was saltier?
Definitely something to monitor. That I mean, it just looks like a calf cramp for JT. Hopefully, obviously, but something to monitor for sure.
I think this
it's nice that you're getting the game
6
over
days
with
or
on the first day.
Yeah. Well, 5 days off is going to be big for this team. I think. Like we talked about it last time about the Big 12 tournament not playing, chance in D5 and against Arizona, but having this break now is huge.
And Drake is missing some timely free throws.
Yeah, they're pulling their best Missouri impression, like they did against them. They couldn't miss 12 straight.
They're pulling
12 and some
versus. Oh no, they're pulling an us versus UNCW. That was a 10-second violation.
Nice.
I was about to say you got to break half court.
Got to break the press.
All good. It's all good. Up 14 with a 14. Minute 30. Sorry, 14. I can't do math apparently. Minute 37 to go.
Yeah, 5 turnovers. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a really clean game from the Red. Other than the few blown assignments where they kept giving open looks, it's been a really clean game from Tech.
All right, 12-point game. What are we at? A minute 23 left.
Minute 32, I think. Right.
Minute 32.
Yeah.
So obviously Drake is going to press Texas Tech quite hard. That's something that Tech has kind of been a little bit iffy with. Like I always think back to that. Well, that was a different situation, but I think back to that Kansas game where we damn near gave Kansas the game on those inbounds. Yeah, definitely something to watch. But got to feel pretty good about where you're at right now. But guys, I just did the math. 65 combined points between JT Toppin, Darian Williams, and Elijah Hawkins.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Elijah stepping up with the absence of McMillan, and like that's something. I mean, usually it's
and not only McMillan, but I mean, you've gotten very little. I don't think you've gotten anything from Kerwin Walton. I think you've gotten one bucket from Christian Anderson. Like he realized he needed to become the third scorer, and he did it. And tip your hat to the guy.
Oh dang! I didn't know that Houston Gonzaga are after this. I thought they were tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good game.
Oh, is that
for that one?
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Oh my gosh, that was a sketchy pass.
That's going to be a game to watch there.
There we go. All right, slow down, guys. There you go.
Yeah, run clock, make them. And they fouled. That's who you want at the line too.
Tech wants Elijah Hawkins at the line.
Yeah, on a team full of good free throw shooters, that's your pick, right? Like you want him shooting the ball.
Absolutely right.
How Houston's draw to get a top 10 Ken Pump team in the second round? Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe they're an 8. Them being an 8 seed is, I think, a little unfair to Houston. And on what I said about Florida, UConn probably deserved an 8 seed, but that's still a really tough draw to get the defending national champion in the second round. If you're Florida.
That Gonzaga game is going to be that Gonzaga Houston game is going to be fantastic. Yeah. I'm super excited for that one.
For a tournament that hasn't really had a lot of unpredictable outcomes.
Well, when's the last time that
true?
When's the last time all 16 1-4 seeds got through the first round?
2009. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I saw that stat earlier on Twitter. 2009.
It's insane, right? Like there've been no upsets.
Yeah, and I was one of those guys. Like I always follow, at least in the first 2 rounds. They have that thing, like where if you bet on every underdog, you're in profit in the first 2 days. This year, you'd be down.
All right, boys, that'll do it. That's gonna do it. Come on, man.
D5 knows it too. Look at that! Look at that celebration. He absolutely knows it.
It's fucking over, man. Wow.
Well, I will say, mission accomplished, right? I think we all came into this season with this roster and said the expectation was a Sweet 16 berth, right? To go further than they did last year, losing in the first round, and they've delivered. And I think at this point, anything else is gravy. But you gotta love the fact that you're getting to play a 10 seed next week for an opportunity to go to the Elite 8.
And I mean, this is a statement win here too. I mean, they didn't just beat them; they really put it on them. Like
this is a really good Drake team, guys. Like,
right.
A lot of people are picking them to beat Texas Tech.
This is their fourth loss.
This is a really good Texas Tech team, guys.
100%.
Let's call a spade a spade. Like we're really good.
All right, I'm gonna have to adjust my math for my X post. I got Elijah Hawkins and Darian just scored 4 points or 4 points total. So
I don't think they're done either. I think Elijah might get another free throw or two here.
yeah, if they don't make a bucket here, they're not going to foul. Well, okay,
Oh, they're gonna
That's a big
foul.
shot. That's a big shot there.
Maybe McCollum won't. Who knows? I mean,
Oh, Hawkins, chill. He was running.
He's just running all around.
yeah, McCollum's not going to foul. He's got
doesn't look
too
like
much. Him and Grant are too good of friends, and he's got too much class to do that.
Wow.
Well done, guys. Well done.
That's yeah.
All right, 69
That's a big one.
combined points.
And
Yeah, they got a good.
D5
trying to give up the turnover. You didn't want the turnover.
I don't think McCaslin was too thrilled about him shooting that shot.
I don't think so either.
I mean, again, these guys are best friends, right? So it'll be cool to see this embrace at the end of this game.
Also, McCollum's like, I'm going to either Iowa or West Virginia, so I'm good.
I think that's a move there for
And
McCollum to throw it out of bounds to let his players come in. Like that's
and McCollum deserves the upgrade, right? To come in from D2 and bring half of his team with him, and to have the year that Drake had. I mean, this is a really good basketball team, and credit to them for the year and then the accomplishment of winning their league and winning a game in the tournament.
So I don't have the official box score, but I only have 3 turnovers from Texas Tech on the game.
I think that's right. It's either 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's a good number. That's what I know.
I just want to see this McCaslin McCollum. I just want to see this handshake between McCaslin and McCollum here.
It's gonna be a hug.
See y'all at San Francisco.
Yeah, it's got to be a hug, right? Yeah. And they'll go out for beers later after they talk to their team.
Man, holy.
Wow. I mean, well done. Mission accomplished, guys. Sweet 16.
That's awesome.
Big win for the Red Raiders.
So first Sweet 16 since 2021? Is that right?
Yeah, Mark Adams, the TJ Shannon, Kevin McCullough, Adonis Arms team that lost that tough game to Jeremy Roach and Duke.
Dude, that was guys, to beat Drake like that, like
it's impressive.
I mean, Logan's absolutely right. That is a statement. Like that is a statement win.
Anybody who thought the Red Raiders were shaky after their first round, because I saw all over Twitter people thought that was a shaky performance. To put this out there now, it really just re-solidifies how good this team is.
And guys, they scored 80 in the first round against UNCW. They score 77 here, and they're not shooting the 3 well. That's the scary thing for the rest of this region, right? It's like this offense is so efficient and they're so good that we're still finding ways to score this many points when we're not shooting it well. Like, how many are we scoring if we shoot it well?
That's another crazy stat on this game. Texas Tech 2 of 14 from 3, and they just blow Drake out. I mean,
you hit 77. I mean, it speaks for itself just how good this offense is.
Yeah, I think I want to say the over-under for the team total for Tech was 67.5 or 68.
They blew that. Yeah, they blew that out.
I mean, they. Like I said earlier, other than some of those wide open threes they gave up, Texas Tech with an elite defensive performance. Some of those blocks that they some of those blocks that Toppin had. How many blocks did Toppin finish with? Actually, he had to have had at least 3, right?
Yeah, last time I checked, he had 3. So
CBS says 2, but that doesn't seems like
ESPN also has it at 2.
Oh, no, it felt like more than 2 for sure. I mean,
really,
he was all over the place.
It felt like we had more than 3 blocks as a team, but they're only giving us credit for 3. 2 for JT Toppin and 1 for Kevin Overton. I felt like Fetty definitely had 1 too at some point, but maybe I'm.
He had that. I don't know if they gave him a block, but he had just an incredible. They didn't give him the block. It was that contest where he went straight up, and I mean, it was the game was pretty close at that point. There was some really just some massive defensive stops in that game that kind of led to this lead in the long run. But man, that was I'm looking at Darian Williams' stat line. Yeah, so he played 30 minutes, 28 points. He had 2 steals. He had no turnovers, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. 3 offensive rebounds for D5 tonight.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
fact that D5 and JT had 22 field goals, and as a team, they only had 28. I mean, that's. I mean, they played through, like we talked about at the beginning. They play through their their two post players, and they did, and they
yeah.
dominated. They didn't just play well. They dominated.
Hopefully, we like the rims more next week than we did
Yes.
here in Wichita over these first two games. And I'm gonna come out and say it. We need Christian Anderson to start knocking shots down. I mean, he's just too important to what this team has been able to accomplish. I mean, I've been saying it on our podcast all year that the guy is not a freshman, right? He has not looked like a freshman all year until these last two games. But I still have confidence in him that a change of scenery, a week in the gym. I know that everything you hear about that kid. He's going to be in the gym all week getting shots up. I just, he's going to be a gym rat. And he's going to get 1,000 shots up between now and next Thursday or Friday, whenever they end up playing.
Yeah, and I mean I'm looking right now. JT Toppin, by the way, 11 of 13 from the field.
God,
I think that we sometimes you watch JT and he hangs out at the top of the key and he looks for those 3-point shots a couple of times and he takes some that they're he can make them, but for him to just get on the block and dominate there the whole game, I felt like that was just the game plan was to dominate the paint, and they did.
I mean, I think we all agree he's go ahead, Austin, please.
I was just gonna say he's really like showing how good of a defensive player he is. I think I actually heard like a national, I think it was a broadcaster or an analyst or something, I can't remember who it was, talking about how JT Toppin is not a very good defender. And I'm just like, that is absolutely silly. Like, I mean, he had a tough time against Norchad Omier, but I think he was like, I don't really know what was going on with that. I think Texas Tech was just kind of running a very vanilla scheme against him, and they weren't like, it was the Big 12 tournament, right? Like weird things happen in the Big 12 tournament. This is like JT Toppin was, I mean, he averaged, I believe, north of 2 blocks a game last year, and I think over a steal a game. Like he is a very good defensive player. This year, they've just relied on him more offensively. But in March, man, to have a guy like that can get up and block shots and just be such a presence on the interior. And then you have Fetty, who has really come along as a really good, solid backup, especially if Toppin gets into foul trouble. We won't have to get too much into the Arkansas matchup, guys. I know we've taken a lot of your time tonight already, but that's going to be really interesting because they do have, I believe they have Adu and then they have Brazil. And both of those guys
got the point guard too, who's supposed to be a lottery pick, right?
Boogie Flan. They got Boogie
Flan. He's a good player. But what I was going to say about JT before you hopped in there was, Logan had mentioned being able to knock down that three, and I think that the two things, and I do think he's going to go pro. But if he comes back, it's going to be because of the feedback that he needs to learn to go right, and that he needs to continue to develop that jump shot. I think he's clearly made that an effort this year to stretch his range and show NBA teams that he can knock down that consistently. But if he ends up back at Tech next year, it's going to be because of the feedback that continue to develop the jump shot and learn to go right.
Yeah, I'm looking at this X post from Evan Mayakawa, and he says, what makes Texas Tech so versatile is that they don't need threes to fall to win. They took 46 threes against UNC Wilmington, a season high. Today they took 14, second lowest of the year. On the flip side, they punished on the interior, hitting 26 of 38 shots from two. 26 of 38.
That's elite.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm thrilled, guys. I love going to a Sweet 16, and hopefully they can advance to an Elite 8 and see what happens.
Man, awesome stuff. Well, guys, thank you all for joining again. We're going to wrap up right with about 700 people in the stream. So thank you all for being here. Blake, Logan, again, man, thank you all so much for being here. You guys have saved my voice, and I feel I definitely have more energy tonight heading out than I did last time. But that was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys will have the availability to do it again for Texas Tech's next game. But Sweet 16 bound for Texas Tech. Any final remarks that you guys want to leave?
Thank you for letting us hop on, man. It was a lot of fun, and go Tech. I mean, it's gonna be fun. It's a fun ride. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you again for having us on. I had a great time, and yeah, I feel real good about this team I have all year, and they just solidified even more tonight.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you all again. Texas Tech fans, thank y'all for being here. We'll hopefully be doing another live stream for the next game, but I think y'all said it's going to be either Thursday or Friday. We may get the tip-off time tonight, possibly. I think we got the last one like the night after the game. So anyways, guys, thank y'all for being here, and wreck 'em.